yesterday. It just wanted to show me the last game, not the current one.
We may still be mistitled. We'll find out momentarily. Let's find out, shall we?
Let's find out together.
We'll make sweet harmony. Is that what we're going for?
No. What are you going for?
The crocodile song from
I'm just being
All
a
Dogs
goof.
Go to Heaven?
Oh god, that's right.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure that's what you just sang.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe not. But anyway, looks like we're streaming okay. How's our title? I think we might be episode 9 now, but that's okay. We'll pretend. Let me pop my chat notifications out. Yeah.
Make sure the volume's down for.
Close that one down.
Stream Elements isn't catching up.
Getting there,
It does
getting
for
there,
you,
getting
it
there.
just doesn't like me.
Is that an explanation point or something else?
Woo!
Ooh.
I heard a woo. Jaker's been
Subscriber.
bobbed 23 months. Congratulations.
Whoa.
So it looks like the stream has caught up to me and us, and so, hi, I'm Casey. We're streaming on 20 Sides to Every Story. We're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, and we are working our way through Tyranny of Dragons. At the moment, the party is in El Terrell, a city that not too long ago spent some time in Avernus. It's been about 3 years since they got back from their vacation in Hell, and they've been rebuilding quite well. The party hasn't had time to investigate the back streets, but the front streets have new facades up, and everything looks to be getting back to normal. They stopped by a tavern where they met their friend Leosin and Arnthar Froome. Leosin offering them, and accepted by, I believe, 2 members of the party, membership in the Harpers, a band of do-gooders who work within the Sword Coast, righting wrongs and such things. Thought by the general populace to be perhaps a little bit foolish, but they do good. And they have a very open membership policy where they, get help where they can.
Oh, thanks for the jams, man!
Arnthar Froome, a member of the Order of the Gauntlet and known by the Lord's Alliance, said that if they prove themselves, perhaps additional membership offers will show up, but they need to do a little proving first. We'll carry on from there. Oh, the margarita's a little strong? That's okay, just drink it quick and make another one. Out there, Jakers. So, the party has been told... I see that hype train building up there. The party has been told that they've got a boat ride. Normally, it's about 20 days walking from El Terrell to Baldur's Gate. By boat, 10-ish days or so. But today, they're going to be attempting to make it in about a day and a half, which is a ludicrous speed. The dancing? What was the dancing?
I was just copying him. It's
Okay.
really fun.
We were hype training.
Oh, okay, that's the hype train. I'm learning all new things today.
We're learning as we go too.
Yeah. So
Hype train's at 69.
that is true.
Nice.
It is evening at the moment. You have places reserved for you in El Terrell, and the folks from the Order of the Gauntlet are down to party at this point. They're congratulating you. There's a few Harpers there congratulating you on your membership, Leosin and Arnthar. You did a little bit of jousting in the tavern earlier, and they're ready for a round 2 to get to payback on that one. So drinks are offered, food, etc. But the one of the dwarves named File, who will be piloting one of the 2 skiffs that are being prepared for you, did offer the warning that you probably ought not drink or eat anything you don't mind or don't want to see again. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride, but maybe, some alcoholic cushioning would be good. maybe bad. That's up to you. So, I do have an important question to ask, and we'll kind of do this as our lead-in and intros. What will you be doing with your evening of relaxation and fun, or preparation, or what have you? And we'll kind of work our way around the character set. We'll go in order from left to right that I have the icons on the overlay here, which I believe starts us off with Chiquito. Chiquito, what are you up to in El Terrell, in the Tavern of the Black Stag? What you doing?
Well, let's see. Last we left the group, we were doing a rematch, I believe, of the horsey back rides, but this time show was the horse.
I believe that was the challenge that was made. Now, that's going to continue until, I mean, in this crowd, it's generally until anyone's too drunk to stand or to, carry someone on their shoulders. Are you willing to engage in that contest of wills and wits?
Well, as he had a great time being the horse last time, he wouldn't mind doing it again, being the rider.
Sounds good.
But after that, I'm assuming after that he just kind of find himself a nice corner, kind of stand off, kind of whittle some wood and relax a bit.
Oh. Sounds good. And thank you. I did have my overlay reversed somehow. There we go. So, that gets us Chiquito. Not a particularly exhausting evening. How about Show? Show, you do that one rematch that's been committed to. What else?
I will continue doing the horse rides until I can't do them anymore, I think.
Okay. Is anyone else stepping up to be the horse or be the rider from the party? I got a head shake from Anrin.
No.
Okay.
No.
Chiquito wouldn't mind.
I'm not strong at sports.
Okay, so Chiquito tried to get out, but they just kept pulling you back in again, is what I'm hearing.
Well, I'll eventually try to convince everybody to do it.
Sounds good.
Might be convinced to do it once, but then probably immediately regret his decision and not do it again.
He would have Chiquito might have talked to Show and say,
You want me to be turned into a horse, and you could see if you could carry me?
I don't feel very positive about that, but we could try it.
Maybe a miniature pony.
I don't think you'll swing the pole very well.
Who cares?
A fair assessment of how these games tend to work their way through eventually. So as Show and Chiquito sort of trade off and then eventually end up scattered about, Anrin, what are you up to now? You did express a concern to Leosin, and I believe you took up the offer of the Harpers to see how serious they might be. But what were you up to that evening?
Well, I'm actually pretty close as the crow flies to home. And I'm wondering, so I just go outside because there are others else who are outside and who are out of the way of the playing humans and other beings. And I take the moment to actually just sort of take a deep breath and relax, really relax for the very first time since we started this, because all of this is so god-awful strange at this point. I mean, I am friends with the talking tree. I have hugged spiders. I have come to think that people are people. I'm really confused. And I just need to sort of clear my head. And then I remind myself, oh my gosh, I even think lizard folk are people. And Coca's going to be riding on my shoulder to give me a bite every now and then. So this is much changed in just a relatively short period of time. And I just need to clear my head.
Got it. And stepping outside, El Terrell, even into the evening, there are watches and there are patrols about, but you could head, a little bit to the outskirts of the city. You do see a little bit of the rubble and ruin that came from the battles while the city was dragged down into Avernus, but a lot of rebuilding taking place. Anything, too horrific has been scrubbed away or undone. Yaz, what are you up to, lizard folk that you are?
Lizard folk that I am. As mentioned before, if enough convincing is done, Yaz would probably attempt once at the human jousting, and then realize, no, this is very much not for him, and go back to watching. Probably have discussion with Anran about why you want to see Coca. Oh, you want Coca to here? That's weird, but okay. And after that conversation, do that. He probably would also indulge in some food as well, because now he has money to do that. So he's going to do that, and being a creature with a swim speed, he feels confident that he'll be okay, despite the warnings.
Sure.
Let's see if he regrets the decision later.
Absolutely. There's a fair amount of food available to you. How are you strictly carnivorous?
Preferred, yeah.
Preferred, okay. Sounds good. So yeah, they absolutely, they've got chicken around, they've got some pig around, a little bit of deer, not a whole lot of beef, but, certainly a wide selection. Human town, so not a lot of humanoids on the menu. It's a little bit tame.
Fair.
But other than that, quite good. Which will then bring us over to Rob Oakes. Rob, what were you up to this evening?
Well, we're hanging out in like a private tavern club, right?
You are?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna see if there's some room for performance or to sing for some supper, and also because I like the spotlight.
Sure,
I
absolutely.
admit that because I'm an artist, but
Would you like to determine in your own mind how the performance went, or would you like to leave it to chance?
Well, I wanted to debut a song I've been working on, it, called "Out Hanging in the Wind." It goes, how many kobolds must one bard kill before they call him a man? And how many pants must that same bard lose before he's fully clothed again? The answer, my friend, was hanging out in the wind. The answer was cold out in the wind. I don't know, what kind of reaction did I get?
I think there's a lot of laughter, but yes, well done.
Favorable.
Well done.
On a song for Henry, too.
You do get some songs swapped. The folks of El Terrell are maybe a little on the military march side of things, but not bad at all. So that brings us, I think, through the evening into the next morning. Everyone, do please take the benefits of a long rest if you have not taken that recently. Make sure you got everything topped up and topped off. And you are brought down to the docks and introduced to a trio of folks who will be assisting you on the boats. And we're going to try and shift over. And hopefully...
Already being seasick.
It's a river. You can't get seasick on the river.
Yeah, I'm getting water sick.
That's possible. That's very possible. So the trio who are introduced to you, File the dwarf that you met before, Sandy, an older human who has the look of a pirate about him, and then Rasp, who looks to have a little dwarf in him, though stands at a human's height. The boats are sort of as pictured. However, each also has a single-masted sail And on the bottom of the boats, just visible through the water, is an odd wing shape. And for those of you in the real world, these would be boats that are going to be operating as sailing hydrofoils, so super duper fast, super duper bumpy. Your characters would not know that, but just so you know what they're about to be in for. File will be taking up the prow of the lead ship, acting as spotter. Sandy and Rasp will be controlling the oars, more to steer and slow down than to make go faster. The wind handles the go fast part. Please arrange yourselves as you would like to be, either on the lead boat or on the follow boat. The spots available, 2 spots in the back where Yaz and Sho are at the moment. Where Rob is on the prow of the second ship, and then Anrin and Chiquito are on the rear of the follow ship. You can move yourselves around as you would like to be as you set off. To what you understand, as long as things go well, you're basically going to be in a sprint on these boats for the daylight hours. So where you sit is probably where you're going to be for the next 8 to 12 hours. Please go ahead and sort yourselves out as you might like to be.
We get to pick our lab partners.
You do get to pick your lab partners.
Oh, dangerous.
I have full pants on, so I'm scared. Before it was sort of a
I was thinking
consideration.
about that.
I was a little worried about it, but now that I'm full pants,
Yeah, no, I'm going to stay in the back.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm going to hang on.
Yes, I'm fine here.
Okay. Excuse me, just having zooming problems on the overlay there. Let's get everybody in. Cool. So, as you set out, the first couple of minutes are fairly tame. You are making your way out onto the river. You get through a little bit of local traffic, other boats moving around, fishermen, that sort of thing. Once you get a little bit further out, the sail goes up, speed picks up. Oh, and Anrin, I'm getting a little feedback from you. Speed
It's
picks
not
up.
me.
Whoop. Test.
somebody's listening.
No, I think it is you.
Is
Sorry.
it typing?
No, I think when I talk, I'm hearing myself through your speakers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the stream.
Yeah, the speakers are going into your mic and looping it around.
Sorry, hang
Oh,
on.
no worries, no worries. Always new technology stuff. But as we are getting up to speed, the sails finally fill. They start veering from side to side to pick up the wind. Those of you who might have some sailing experience, you know that they can now move with anything except basically a straight-on headwind. But the more the wind is against you, the more you have to veer from side to side, and you are careening from side to side as you move down the river at speed. As you continue to build speed, the boats rise up until they're basically just skipping across the water, heading downstream. It is not a pleasant trip. And does anyone happen to have any sailing experience? Anyone who does not need to make the next Constitution roll I'm about to ask for.
No, I've never been on a boat before.
Boy, are you having a great time.
I really am. It's great.
Yeah. So for those of you...
Does having a swim speed count?
Swim speeds usually happen in the water. You are uncomfortably above the water at this point. But...
I mean... Yeah.
So could I please have a DC 10 Constitution saving throw from each of the party members?
Ooh.
Oh, poor Rob.
Rob! Rob, maybe the front of the boat wasn't the best idea. It's boom, boom, boom the whole time.
Sorry, Anrin and Chiquito. Incoming.
Uh-oh. I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but probably nothing.
So, let's see here. Who did I... Chiquito, did I not get
There you go.
yours?
There you go.
Oh, wow. 2 nat ones.
Yep.
Well done, folks.
When I see that, I don't hear.
Yeah.
He just pukes up oil.
So you are not necessarily ill, but you are uncomfortable to the point that you do not think you could rest in a moving vehicle going down the water at this point. You are holding on. You're feeling that little bit of blood drain out of your face, pit of the stomach kind of thing. Everyone else seems fine, but you two just not doing so well as you skip down the river. Now, I do need to ask, as we do that, for the first of our fateful D20s on the river. Higher numbers would be better, lower numbers would be worse. Please, someone go ahead and roll me a D20. A 12 is a pretty good number. A 2 is the less good number, but the 12 made it first.
Yeah, we're good. Got that one out of the way.
So, let's see here. Yaz, Sho, Anrin. You are the ones that are holding together. It missed the vampire, Ned Beatty. You are holding together pretty well. As you are skipping down the river, you notice, off in the distance and high in the sky, a familiar pair of shadows. A smaller winged figure followed by a larger winged figure. They appear to be cruising along the river. They are a good ways ahead of you, at least the same distance that they were before with the carts. Back then, you thought maybe 45 minutes and you would be upon them. At this speed, though, maybe only 10 to 15 minutes would pass before you were in range of what you suspect to be the unborn and the unstable dragons. What are you doing?
I would say I'm seeing the dragons. Look! And point with one hand to Rob.
Oh, dear.
I'm still puking.
Hey, Rob, what do you... Oh, never mind.
You just hit me with the back.
Like,
The only one that was worried about it is fine, and all the other people are like, oh.
oh man,
They're,
the one just keeps hanging on. It's like,
they're a long ways ahead of us. But not
Okay,
for
so
long.
clearly the dragons are going to eat us.
Would we see that the dragons have focus on us, or do they seem to be just cruising along or have a focus on something else?
It looks like, how about a nature survival perception something?
Wow. The nature survival perception.
Something?
I don't know if I have that. Let me see. Nature survival perception. Let's do this one.
Okay.
That?
That was a good choice.
So, Anrin, you looking up at them, you're having trouble between the bouncing of the boat and the tracking through the sky to really put it together. Maybe tracking flying animals wasn't something that you stressed on. But Yaz, you're able to line up and, shouting ahead to Sandy there, get a feel for, okay, yeah, they are staying above the course of the river. They look like they're patrolling the river some ways ahead.
I will inform the group on this. Hey guys, I think they're patrolling the river for something.
And between Yaz and Sho in the boat, that's a reasonable conversation as you're skipping along is sort of yelling back. And they're probably 15 to 20 feet back from you at the speed that you're going.
That's right.
if I weren't puking, I could message you.
Yeah.
I don't know what we should do about it, or other than we're moving very fast. We might not run them.
This is true. Do we just try to outrun them, and go from there, or do we take the initiative to try and take out the potential enemy? But they are dragons. That's probably not wise. Probably better to just outrun them. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm brain vomiting right now ideas because I don't know what to think. What do I think, Sho? What do I
I stop and look back at the boat behind us and see Chiquito and Rob and think, we are in no condition to fight them.
Yeah,
I look
wise
back at
observation.
Chiquito, I see Chiquito puking, and I want to puke more because I'm a
Ah!
It's just
I'm not used to this. What is going on?
I had bar nachos, so not good.
So
The nachos were really good, aren't they?
Chiquito, you were eating and drinking last night, weren't you? Like they were buying you
where's the
drinks and you were
horse
just
I was?
pouring them into your open areas.
Yeah.
And they're coming.
And they're all just
Oh, just
splashing
open
out
it.
now. He's not actually vomiting. He's just
Ah!
splashing out the stuff you forced in before.
Everywhere and in the boat. And this is not good.
A lawn sprinkler.
What is this sensation? Ah!
Yep. D&D is a game for mature people. Yep.
Now I'm dry heaving.
Oh, it's the carbonation.
Oh,
You're shaking up the carbonated drink.
really good. Hold that second. Ah!
Wow, I'm really glad I'm not in that.
I sure drank. I didn't realize I drank this much.
It's too bad you're sick because this is really fun.
Is it? Hey, tell Sandy. Can he see that I'm in misery?
Oh, Sandy.
Oh, Sandy.
So 3 to 5 minutes go past as you're shouting information back and forth. Still about 10 minutes ahead. What are you doing with those dragons?
I say we
I
outrun them.
yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Just keep going. Though.
I'm gonna cast message once does my stomach, do I calm down
Yeah.
eventually?
You can hold it down. Basically, you just can't rest on the ship.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna message Yaz, and just say, hey, what's the plan now? Like, you guys are moving pretty fast. We're moving pretty fast. We're pretty messed up back here. I don't ask
Oh,
why.
yeah, you are.
There was an accident with something fell open, bags opened, it just went everywhere. But you're like provisions. Sorry about that. But you can respond to this message.
We aim to run sail away very fast.
All right. We're gonna go fast, guys. This seems like a great plan for my stomach.
We're gonna go faster.
No,
Yeah.
he just said fast. We're already going fast. Does this mean we're doing nothing again?
You couldn't hear that, by the way.
I couldn't hear that?
No, that was just in a message between our heads. It was
Oh.
a message about.
Sorry.
That's right. We're going faster because that's what I heard.
Faster.
Okay, so as you're calling back and forth, File and Sandy look back to Show and Yaz like, so we're making a run in. Okay, and they're good with that.
I trust you if you think your boat can do it.
Oh, it'll go fast. Anything
That's
you
good,
can
I
do
like
to dissuade a dragon, though, that'd be fantastic. Let's see. Is there anything that you are all doing other than doing the Sonic and going fast? Gotta go fast.
Not much I can do until they're very close.
Yeah.
I don't have good hide spells right now.
And do me a favor, just remind me what each of you might look like at this moment. I will leave it to your honesty. I don't know that any of you are wearing disguises, but if you are, let me know. You all had code names, but I don't remember disguises too much.
I know we discussed disguises and like painting self a different color.
Would you have done it this morning?
If
wouldn't
yeah,
have
probably.
Okay.
If it was talked about, then yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
My disguise consisted of a cloak that I pulled up over the hood up over my head, and at this speed, there's no cloak, there's no hood staying on my head.
Sounds good. So as you go rocketing underneath, the dragons overhead, you can see more clearly. A smaller, wormling-sized black dragon, a much larger undead dragon, its bones visible. A mockery of life and flight, as its wings do nothing to keep it aloft, but yet it flaps them as if it does. Its chest cavity, which earlier you saw as hollow, and once you even saw expand to pull in a carriage, is now covered in leather or some other material. And you can see glints of metal from inside. High above, the dragons turn their attention down towards you. Really? Could I have... let's go with disguise or stealth, your choice, as you all just try and stay unnoticed and under the dragon's radar as you zip along.
You want all of us to roll?
Yes, please.
I'll try to keep the sail between me and them.
Sounds good.
Oh. That's 2 crit fails in a row.
There's just enough lag in Roll20 that each time now I've clicked the button and then your result has popped up. And I thought, oh crap! And then I do really well.
So you're actually all doing quite well. With one exception, it's pulling the average down a little, but it's not too bad. The dragon, however, is all over it.
Oh boy.
Oh, snap.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's a perception.
From above, the little black dragon just folds its wing and begins plummeting down towards you. The bigger one stays hovering maybe 100 or so feet as it just slowly descends. It shouldn't be able to move that way, but it's obviously not flying due to any physics. From inside, however, you hear a what sort of noise as it hovers over you with that chopper-like sound. I think perhaps the reason that Rob had such trouble with it is Rob instinctively needed to look up at the sound of slings spinning up.
Oh, slings. Slings suck.
Inside the massive undead dragon, 6 kobolds are peering out. One peering through the front chest cavity, the others out the side. As they spin their slings up, they're using it like a transport, so those 6 are actually in the dragon itself. We're going to go ahead and bring up the turn order.
That's not disturbing in any capacity. Not at all.
I'm sorry, were you expecting friendly dragons? That is the
No.
wrong...
Woohoo! Do we still have a chat inspiration from last time?
I've still got one marked on my sheet.
I have one left.
There was a group chat inspiration that was awarded, and then I believe Rob had an individual inspiration awarded as well as a healing potion. And that's
Michael
what I recall.
Just bought one, but I don't know that he said who it was for.
Okay, I could have sworn somewhere in my notes that are scattered on my desk.
Like
I
just
had
just
plus
a little
one.
bit ago.
You still had one left.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Hey, why are you rolling all those?
Why am I rolling all those? Let's find out.
Don't do that. Don't do
Why
that.
you do that?
Don't do that.
Alright. So as the boats speed along and the dragons drop down, it seems as though the dragons, or at least some of the dragons' companions, will be going early. Would one of the party members please volunteer to roll a d4? The number on the d4 is how many rounds it will take the boats to outpace the dragons.
I think I should roll. I've been doing great. I'm joking.
Oh,
Go for it.
Show sneaks in there with 3. So, what that basically means, you are behind them, approaching them. Round 1, you'll be directly underneath them. Round 2, you'll be coming out the other side. Round 3, and because of the dive, you will then be moving away. You know if the boats are destroyed, if someone's knocked out, that's going to be a bit of an issue. But we'll find out what's happening from there. About 100 feet up in the air, the large undead dragon with its kobolds inside looks down. The one near its mouth waits. The ones with the slings wait as well. The little black dragon plummets towards you all. 120 feet. Wham. It lands in the boat between Sandy, Yaz, and Sho. The moment it does, the kobolds above lash out, utilizing their pack tactics. They're at range, so it just makes it an even throw. As they drop rocks, Yaz and Sho, you got 1 rock coming at you each. Yaz's rock, 10's gonna miss. Sho's rock, 15, Sho?
Nope.
Gonna miss. Sploosh, sploosh, rocks land in the water. The final looks down at Yaz and fires 3 rays of flame.
What?
Yaz, at advantage, you're within range. 1, 2, 3. 22, 17, 20?
Oh, with advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah, they all hit.
1, 2, 3. 12 points of fire damage. And then Sho 1 final rock. 11 or 8. Plop. Chiquito, what are you doing?
Chiquito will use his action to, if this is possible, he is going to try to grab a bit of water using his cantrip Shape Water,
Sure.
bring it up, and try to make a bit of a shield for our captain on our little skiff that we're sailing on. Try to make a little bit of a barrier around.
For Rasp in your boat?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say you can basically just make a water dome above, providing cover. You're hiding him effectively. So we'll go with that'll probably give him a +5 to the first attack. How much water are you able to move?
I'm able to move a 5-foot square of water.
Okay, so you
5-foot
probably
cube.
have just a
A
stream
5-foot
of
cube.
water.
I'm sorry.
Oh, 5-foot cube.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got just make a rainbow of water going over him, obscuring his area. Well played.
Right.
Quito, anything else?
If he can, he might. Would he? As he goes to move, would obviously it would rock a bit. It would make it a bit. Right. I'm assuming that moving the boat, would he be able to move maybe right here without kind of setting?
It's difficult terrain, but you're only moving 5 feet, so you could just kind of scramble over there, holding on as you're still down the river.
Okay. He'll just position himself there.
Got it.
Hold up his shield, and that'll be it.
Excellent. Anrin, about 100 feet above you, the massive undead dragon about 30 feet ahead of you. The little dragon on the boat with Yaz and Sho. What are you up to? At 40 feet.
40 feet. I stand up
Mm-hmm.
or try to and sort of like brace my feet against the boat. I'm going to be swaying, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to try and hit the little dragon with a javelin, at least to sort of like get its attention.
Sure. What's the range on those javelins?
30 is short range.
30 is short range?
3120.
3120. So if you can scoot up next to Chiquito and get it off as a regular attack.
Okay, I will scoot up next to Chiquito, which is great because I can use one side of his leg to brace mine. And I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Sounds good. Let's go ahead and see that roll.
He is coated in vomit. Just remember.
I've been sitting next to him and he's been
It was
covered in
just
vomit,
beer. It
so
wasn't
am I.
vomit. There was no digestion. It was.
Unfortunately, the 11
Oh,
is
that's
not
fine.
gonna do, as that flies a bit short.
It's okay.
Well, I appreciate that. I should have hit him. And at this particular point, I am not going to rage yet.
Okay. Do you have multi-attack yet? Are
I
you?
do not have
Need one more level.
One more. Okay.
one more level.
One more level. Got it. Show. What
I
do we got?
am going to rage.
Okay.
And so when I enter the rage, I am going to strike him with the storm aura.
Certainly may. Where you at, unstable? There you are. Dexterity saving throw. Passes it.
Okay. Then I am going to make a shove attack and shove him off the boat.
Oh, okay.
So this is at advantage because I'm raging.
Nice. 19 bits of 15. And very quickly, heading that way. But at the moment it lands. Show anything else?
Nope, that's enough.
All right, up above, kobolds continue their bombardment, but now no pack tactics. Yaz, this one's headed for you. Disadvantage. It's still a 19 for 9, though.
I don't like this.
High above, the undead dragon just maintains its hover. It is a mobile weapons platform. Frostwing, bombard, show coming your way. Drop rock, disadvantage, 12, nothing. Yaz, how about it?
What is the distance from Yaz to the unborn?
The unborn's 100 feet up.
Perfect.
Pythagoras doesn't exist. It's just 100 feet no matter which way you go.
Dang it, never mind. Idea cannot be done.
Oh, sorry, no, what did you want to do?
No, it's the distance isn't the issue. It's a dragon and not a humanoid.
Oh, okay.
That was my issue. Yeah, I'm gonna do a hex. And I'll pick, I don't know, wisdom or something.
Okay, which one on? The big one?
Unborn, yeah.
Yep, the big one.
And Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. 22 for 7 will hit. Absolutely. Hex for another 3, bringing it up to 10.
Oh, that's right, 3. Never mind, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I forgot I clicked it.
No problem.
Yeah, that's it.
And you felt the hex didn't land as much as you thought it might have.
That makes sense.
It did still a twinge, but it didn't have that juicy black aura.
Right.
Rob?
Okay.
Are they 100 feet from us as well?
Yes, they're just 100 feet from anybody.
Up, okay. That puts them 10 feet out of range. And that's the people riding in the Hella Dragon?
That's the people riding in the Hella Dragon, correct.
Okay.
Get to the chopper.
Alright. Not much I can do. I feel like this guy, did he land in the drink and is gonna get sucked down past us? Or?
He is in the drink right now. I will ask, would your character know anything about black dragons? I think you speak Draconic.
I do speak Draconic.
Then you may remember black dragons can swim.
Okay. Yeah, I was more worried he was gonna get slowed down and we're gonna go right past him as he's in the water. But
You are likely to outdistance him faster now that he's in the water.
Gotcha. I think what I'm going to do is just... We are so inspired, we don't need me right For inspiration. You know.
We always
So, I appreciate that. That's so kind.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna just shoot an arrow at the dragon. That's the only thing I can do as we kind of approach it. I'll just short bow it.
Okay.
Everything else will move out of way as we're moving. So it's area of effect, but it stays on the area. So
Okay.
all right.
Nice.
Oh.
That's not a bad short bow. And I'm sorry, was that the little guy or the big guy?
The little guy in
The
the
little
water.
guy. 8 points of arrow damage. Nice shot. Anything else for you?
I'm going to applaud myself loudly and then wipe off some of the stuff that's still stuck in my beard. And that's it.
Got it. From up above, turn passes, dragon, whoosh. Rest of the dragons. Whoosh. Little dragon. Can't do anything yet. Biggin. Harry is going to call shot on Rob. Shadow Eyes is going to be dropping a stone on Chiquito. Sweet Tooth is going to be dropping a stone on Anrin. Little Black Dragon, swim, 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 jumps in the air, flap, flap. Lands. Lands, flies. Up next, Rob Oaks and Chiquito. Rob, you got a Scorching Ray coming at you. 3 bolts. At advantage.
Wow, such crap.
1, 2, 2, 3.
One hits.
Okay.
First one.
First one hits.
Oh wait, they were advantage. Sorry.
They were advantage.
2 hit.
2 hit.
2 hit.
8 and a 9, 17 points of fiery damage.
Hey, I'm still up.
Stone coming from above. Chiquito at advantage. Dropped rock. 14.
Isn't it just a straight roll?
I'm sorry, straight roll. You're correct. Straight roll. Yep, dropped rock.
This-
And Adrian dropped rock straight at disadvantage. 17 though.
It hits.
Got it. Little Black Dragon. Black Dragon, where'd you go, buddy?
Hey, right by me.
No, I meant his. There he is.
Oh, okay.
Little Black Dragon is going to try and bite Chiquito as Chiquito goes by. Chiquito. I think a 7's gonna miss.
Yeah, misses.
With that, Little Black Dragon is off screen and away. Chiquito, attack of opportunity if you'd like. Rob Oaks, the same.
Oh, I'm taking it. I will use Vicious
Chiquito.
Mockery.
Okay.
Did you take Warcaster?
Wait, no, I didn't.
Oh.
Right.
Oh man,
As soon as I
I
said
was
it,
so
realized
excited.
I had nope. No, I haven't had an Oh, I guess I did have an opportunity, but I did not. I upped my charisma to 19 to make my spell DC harder.
Yeah.
All right. And I can't Warcast, so I'll just shoot him. No, I can only melee.
Only melee.
Well, can I get my sword out in time? Is that something I can do?
You weren't wielding it, so I think it would just be a punch
Oh.
if you wanted to punch. Or
You know
what were
I
you
don't
wielding? You had your
My
short
bow.
bow in hand. You had your short bow in
Yeah.
hand.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna play it.
Chiquito.
Punch the dragon.
Someone's got to teach you some manners. I was going to be your dragon daddy. Not nice. We're good. What are you doing?
Show
Um,
me. Who's your daddy?
who's it?
Is he big? Is he rich like me?
Can I? What am I just rolling it straight, or could I use like the quarterstaff
Oh, you can
attack?
use a quarterstaff if you're carrying a quarterstaff, yeah.
I do, but I'm not. Like I said, I'm not holding it out. I'm not using it right now, so
Okay.
I'll just use that.
Yeah. Then if not, just well, 21 will hit. So go ahead and do your strength damage.
+1. Okay. So unarmed attack.
Mm-hmm.
That would be what? Just a 1?
Just the
1
one.
plus your strength mod.
So 2.
Got it.
2 damage.
Just a little
So slap upside the head.
slap
Get it
upside the
together!
head.
I think you are his daddy, Chiquito. That was awesome.
And now he has fallen behind. The kobolds above continue their assault. Rob Oakes, Oddity lobs a stone down at you. That is going to be coming in at disadvantage. 9's
Whoa,
going to
thank
miss. Chiquito. Little Black Dragon's now 30 to 40 feet behind you. The big undead still about 100 feet above, almost now straight up.
Oh, he's still about 100 feet in the air. Okay. Chiquito then, I guess we'll cast, let's see. He is going to cast, I guess he'll cast Healing Word. He'll just do Healing Word on Rob.
Okay.
What level is that?
Got it. Any action?
He will, is Healing Word a bonus? Is that a bonus action?
Yep, Healing Word's the bonus.
Oh, I'm gonna dodge my action.
Got it. Anrin.
So the black dragon's behind us.
You are moving faster than he is, so he's attacked. You've moved past, so he's 20 to 30 feet behind you at this point.
Okay. Still gonna go ahead and try a javelin attack.
Sure, absolutely.
Flip and turn the other direction.
$18 will do. 8 points of piercing damage. Little dragon squawks out there in the water.
Ha!
That was much better.
Show, what you up to?
Well, my rage is sort of dissipating. I don't have any targets. I'm going to pull Anrin's javelin out of the deck of the boat and just put it in my quiver for right now and sit back down.
You got it.
It's pretty apparent we're going to outpace them pretty quickly.
Sounds good. Up above, 2 more stones drop at the one who's standing on the prow out in the open. Rob Oakes, you got 2 rocks coming at you. 1, 2 at disadvantage. 6 and an 11s are going to miss.
Both miss.
The big undead dragon is dashing, trying to keep up with you, but will be falling behind after the next round. Yaz, what are you doing?
Ooh, and Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, you are.
That's pretty good.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Uh,
Little Hexy?
and yeah, little hexen. No.
It's still 1.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Rob Oakes, how you feeling?
Man, I feel so much better now that Chiquito did his magic thing. It was kind. Can I shoot a kobold? They're too far away. I can't do shit.
So the kobolds are about 100 feet up in the air. They're in their dragon transport, so they got a little bit of cover there. You do have a mast on this. I mean, if you really wanted to get risky, you could climb the mast to get into range.
Yeah, that's just
You know that
That
mast
would be
that's
a
like
good-
sometimes over here, sometimes over there.
That would be a good story, though.
Oh, what a great! Yeah, it would be a great story. You know, I can tell people that right after I climbed up on a mast on a fast-moving boat, and then I puked on myself again. No, I think I'm good. I'm a little crazy anyway. I emptied out all the nachos I had, and I'm gonna take the dodge.
What a waste of nachos.
I think I heard Dusty laughing at you after you said that.
playing a video game.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with me throwing up.
Could have been the
It was well timed.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Up from above, Rob Oaks, you got a little dodging to do. You got a bunch of stuff coming at you at disadvantage. The first of which is a fire bolt. Pang! Ooh, which is a
That'll
21 for 10 points of fiery damage.
I'm gonna hellish rebuke that.
Ooh.
Oh, I can't because
Nice.
I took the dodge, right? But no, I can still do it.
It's a
No,
reaction,
dodge
so you can
becomes a
still use
reaction.
your reaction. What is the range on Hellish Rebuke, though?
Oh,
I'm gonna hope it's long.
range.
60 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. I would know that, and I won't do it. And I meant cutting words anyway.
Does cutting words might not have a range, does it?
It does. It's 60 feet. Yep. So I will take the 10 points of damage.
You got it. You then have 2 more rocks falling at you at disadvantage. 1, 2. 13 and a 9. Gonna do nothing. Little black dragon is
Nope,
behind.
the 13 will hit.
Oh! I'm sorry.
So
Really?
Take the 7. Yeah.
Ouch.
I appreciate your honesty and your bravery and your hopeful thick-headedness. You've got one.
They're not any closer, right? I can't cutting words that one.
No, they are now falling
Right.
behind, but as they do, they're lobbing their rocks forward. Oddity throws a rock at you, Rob. Disadvantage rock. And
That'll
11's gonna miss. Chiquito, they see the weak link.
Yeah, they do. I'm gonna go ahead and add cover. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring up some water
Okay.
and add cover to Rob.
All right. So we'll give him the +5. Anrin.
Yes.
Undead dragon 100 feet up. Rob Oaks precariously balanced on the gunwales ahead of you, looking a bit seasick and a bit almost unconscious. What are you up to?
I'm actually a little worried. He's going to fall off the boat, so I'm just going to ignore the dragon above me and quick tie a piece of rope around his ankle.
Sounds
He's right in
good.
front of me.
Sounds good. Little trapper skill applied, and you now have a snared Rob Oaks. Show in the meanwhile. What are you up to?
I'm just sitting.
Okay. So we've got 2 more rocks to fall. Rob, at disadvantage, here come the rocks. Rock
Plus
number
5 to your
1.
AC.
+5.
Plus 5
+5 AC.
Yep. +5 to your AC. So this will have to be a hell of a set of rocks. A 5, which is down to a 2, not gonna do it. Second rock, a 17 down to a 12. I think it missed by 1.
Yes, this
It missed by 1.
13 AC. Woo, thank you, Chiquito. Thank you.
Hey,
man.
no problem.
Yaz, as the undead dragon falls behind, what are you doing?
How far is the undead dragon?
Still 100 feet.
Yeah, that's in
Pythagoras
range.
be damned.
I don't know.
I really don't, you guys. I just. There we go.
16 won't do it this time, though.
Dang it! That's a warning shot to stay away.
A warning shot indeed. Rob, as you dangle
Yeah.
there, anything you'd like to do?
I'm gonna just sit down and. Some days it just feel useless. And take the dodge action while sitting.
And with that, the dragons and the kobolds fall behind. You're left with relatively clear water. As you move forward, eventually you settle back into your places and continue on. Could I have someone from the party roll me another fateful d20? An
There we
11.
Bam.
Stop rolling.
The rest of the day passes reasonably uneventfully. Those in the boats keep them up at full speed, and you're fairly certain that while the dragons might be able to keep up if they were working at it, they probably wouldn't be able to catch up to the speed that you are maintaining.
Casey,
Yo.
while ill on a boat, could I take the benefits of a short rest since I'm just sitting there?
You cannot rest on the boat.
Oh, right. I think you did say that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You may not rest on the boat. So no benefits of the short rest for you, unfortunately.
I may cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay. If you wish to, you certainly may.
If I can, I might try to rest on the boat.
Yes, absolutely. Anyone except for Rob and Chiquito can rest on the boat.
I will take those 6 points of healing.
So I can meditate then.
You could get your short rest in.
Get my short rest in.
Yep.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Show's just like got her feet kicked up and leaning back and enjoying the breeze and the sun.
I pictured Show doing that the entire.
She absolutely like this is awesome. This is amazing.
Even probably when they were like still in the area, like the enemies were still there, and you're just sitting there. I could picture like.
There wasn't anything that I could do, so yeah, just lean back.
I will say for Show's kicked back, air at the moment, pushing that little dragon out of that boat was pretty clutch.
That was awesome.
Yep.
That was a lot of attack rolls that you accomplished at disadvantage by doing that shove. So, as day draws down to night, Sandy and Rasp inform you that we'll be stopping soon. We're going to need to do some portage. We're going to land, we're going to take the boats out of the water, and we're going to march across. I'm thinking we keep moving through the night because I don't want dragons catching up. Y'all okay with staying on foot?
Seems fair. We will need the rest. Maybe we can rest the rest of the day and be fresh for the night.
Sounds good. And all of you, except for the two who were a little too seasick, managed to get into your short rests. As night falls, they do pull off to the side of the shore. They get the boats up out of the water. The boats are surprisingly light, made of nothing that doesn't need to be there. And File up front incants a few words and summons up two discs of force. The boats are balanced upon them, and then they march along, making the portage fairly easy, but they set a fairly brisk pace. They do explain that we're trying to avoid some rapids. During the day we could navigate them easily, but at night it's a bit trickier to keep us moving, to keep everything going. We're going to walk through the night, get back in the water come day, and get you in Baldur's Gate, hopefully ahead of the dragons.
Looks promising.
Got it. We're going to go ahead and flip over to a roadway at nighttime while portaging.
Very dark.
It's a little darker than I was expecting it to be. We should light a torch or something. How about now?
There we go.
Yes.
Hey! That's how light works. And for this leg of the journey, you have been drawn up on portage, you've been moving along, they've been keeping you at a brisk pace, so no opportunity to rest yet, Rob, unless you voice your concerns. Let me know if you ask them to stop for you. Otherwise...
Why don't you and I switch places, so you're in the middle?
I'm fine. Yep, go ahead.
And as we're moving along, to the audience out there who were considering things to buy, this is probably going to be your last chance to bring in some of those wandering monsters for the evening. So, if you want to throw things around, now would be about the time to start introducing them. But if not, could I have the party please roll me one of those fateful D20s? Ooh.
Yep.
The
Should have
8.
been slower. Should have been slower.
That's all right. The 8 is not too bad. You stay on the road, and it is fairly uneventful. This is a common portage. Some of the deeper draft ships are forced to do so. Other folks do it just to avoid the rapids if they're not accustomed to navigating. You move along the road, and eventually back into the water. You drift at a reduced rate through the darkness. File the dwarf up at the front there, keeping an eye on things as they move along.
Whoa, thanks for the gems, man!
Oh, thanks for the gems, man.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
What's he?
We all know what's going on.
Look at all those experience points.
Thank
Nah,
you.
Still a little shy. That's okay. So, anything the party would like to let me know about to do in the 8 to 10 hours that you have in darkness marching along? Right. It's just a slow slog. Good.
I was gonna say it's not that dark for me.
Oh no, well, it's still dark out. You're aware of the darkness. It just doesn't bother you much.
Super dark for me.
Same.
I'm just gonna hum a song.
After the first hour or two, it just becomes a bit of a trudge, and you're just sort of making your way along. There's the threat of the dragons in the back, but you got a good 8-hour run ahead of them, and it'll take them some time to catch up, you hope. Once back in the water, cruising along again.
We have a chance to clean the boats.
You did have a chance to clean the boats. They're all nice and scrubbed down, and then back in the water. Once you're back on the river, more of the landscape passes by. You're well past halfway down, but now the river's grown deeper, the river's grown a little bit slower. They're relying more on the wind, less on the current. And the navigation again becomes bouncing left to right. For today's leg of the journey, could I please have a DC 10 Constitution saving throw to see how well you handle the second day on the river?
Casey, I would like to use my inspiration.
You certainly may. There you go.
I like these boats.
Oh, this ain't nothing now, like, you know.
Ah, you're all old salts at this point. So, Rob, as you get back on the river and you find your river legs, you are able to take your short rest.
Praise God.
So please go ahead and take the benefits of a short rest. And as you roll a fateful d20, the last one for this part of the journey, if I don't see lower than a 5, you can have a long rest and you'll be arriving in Baldur's Gate. If I see lower than a 5, you won't quite make it.
Who's gonna roll?
I rolled the last one.
So that's a 1d8.
Oh, that's a D8. That's a D8.
No. That was my hit.
That's your
was my
hit
hit
points.
Points.
Everybody just like tightened up.
No, it was sorry.
There you go.
There you go.
That was a D20.
That was the better D20. Smooth sailing as you make it into Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, a fairly large city, big trading town, big bridges over the river. Yep, take the benefits of a long rest, absolutely. As the wind turns favorable and the boat steadies. As the boating traffic increases, the little boats can't move as frantically, their speed slows down, so it's toward the end of the day, just about nightfall, that you arrive at the city of Baldur's Gate. Let's go ahead and flip back over to the big map for the moment. And let's come on down here. Catch Coco up to where we're at.
Whee!
Whoop, whoop. There we go. Now, in Baldur's Gate, the instructions that Leosin and Onthor said was the cultists are going to be passing this way. You've made the journey that would have taken them something in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 days in 2, so you should have a little bit of a lead on them. Even the ones that had set out from Greenest near to a week and a half ago will probably not be arriving in the gate for the next 5 to 10 days, depending on how hard they were pushing up the coast way. You know that the cultists will be traveling in and among other traders, and in fact, the town's quite busy. Even from the outside looking in, you can see that there are lines of wagons pulled up by the gate, waiting to be inspected, pay their tolls, and move through. The gate itself is a little bit of a troublesome spot in that you're not allowed to drive animals through it. You can't take horse and oxen through Baldur's Gate. So they're generally trade goods are generally carried through the gate, and then caravans rebuilt on the north side, the ones that were coming south, the ones from the south side coming north, and so on. So there's always goods moving through Baldur's Gate, generally being carried by porters instead of on carts and wagons. That bit of chaos gives you an opportunity to move in amongst them. On the float down, good.
This is blending into the woodwork I was talking about.
This is that woodwork that you were talking about. Baldur's Gate is full of woodwork.
There is so much woodwork.
Lots of blending to be done.
So many people.
I know. Right?
My home. Welcome.
I've never seen so many people in a small area.
Yeah, you gotta get that smell. Oh yeah, that's the
I
stuff.
don't like it.
What does it smell like? What does it smell like?
Oh, feet.
Is
Pretty
that,
much.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Smells like Jafritos.
A lot
Oh.
of feet. There
Do
are
you remember
so
the
many
boat?
feet.
So, yes, this is home, isn't it?
It is home.
It is home. Now, you're familiar with the basic layout. There's the upper city where the nobility live, the high and well-to-do merchants, and nobody else is really allowed. From there, you've got the wide, which is the marketplace of the city. That's where most of the trade happens. And then you've got the lower city, which surrounds the harbor, and most of the city's business is conducted there. Then you've got the outer city, which is where the poor, less well-to-do live, and then you've got the outer swampy bit of the city, which is where I think you and your mentor might have been hanging out. You know, kind of under the docks.
Yeah.
But you know, aside from that, decent place to hang out. It's evening, and without good reason, you might have a little bit of difficulty getting past the guards and into the city proper. What's the plan? What are you thinking about doing? And how might you be thinking about identifying these cultists and then tracking them in some way?
We can watch for their wagons. I helped load them, so I might recognize some of them.
I did help a little bit too. I think Sho did most of the work though.
My pants might be on one of these.
That's we can look for your pants.
Yeah.
I spoke to the horses. I might be able to recognize them again.
So for the horses and the wagons themselves, they'll be stopping, if they haven't already been traded out already, stopping on the south side of town. Really, everything that goes through Baldur's Gate is going to get unpacked and then repacked on the north side. So if we're looking to identify carts, horses, and that sort of thing, we'd have to stay on the south side and probably watch them on the approach. For the people themselves, you could spot them anywhere, south side, in town, north side, your choice.
It's possible we may recognize some of the goods that we loaded as well.
Also an
Or is
option.
it
I don't know.
greenest
This is very much outside of my expertise.
Mechanics question.
Sure.
Casey. if I give somebody bardic inspiration, can they use chat inspiration plus my bardic inspiration so they can take advantage plus the +6 or the d6?
Yes, chat inspiration and bardic inspiration stack.
Cool.
And guidance.
Yeah,
Yep.
guidance too. All right.
Boop.
Boop.
Well, then let's start investigating
Okay.
or whatever it is we need to do. I mean, let's just keep our eyes peeled.
And whereabouts might you want to stay?
Yaz, where would most likely move through the city?
Well, friend. DM, where would I?
Sure. So
That's a great start.
So the outer city will be the lowest rent and the least inspected. You could basically just wander up there, squat, move on when you're ready to. The lower city, you're going to at least pass through a guard. So they're going to inspect you. They're going to want to know what you're doing here. And you're probably going to pay a toll, maybe a little bit of tax. You're going to need to rent from somewhere. But you're probably going to get food. Maybe not good food, but food. The wide would be the city's marketplace. You'd have a couple of taverns in and around that area that you could settle into. The upper city, no taverns there. You can't rent. You got to be a noble. You'd have to have friends or pretend to have friends up there. The city itself, Yaz, I think you left about 3 years ago or so when the troubles were happening in and around.
Lovely.
The city's going under a fair bit of change. There's a new duke who's been put in place. There's been a effort to improve the lot of the lower classes. You do see some, improvements in the housing, the taxes, that sort of thing. And there's a mercenary feel to it. Money is even more important than it ever has been. And Baldur's Gate's always been a merchant's town, but really it's gone even a little further than that now. You can move up in the city more easily by having coin than you could before.
Okay. I will inform them that pretty much the deeper into the city you go, the more expensive you get and the more you're going to be questioned. So if we want to be questioned less, we will probably want to stay on the outer side.
Do we think that these goods getting moved through here, this contraband, are they going to move it through the, right down the center of the road, or are they going to move it on the outskirts here? Because don't we want to be where we think the action is? Or did I misunderstand the description of how this was likely to go down?
They would come up from the south, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then would they go straight through the middle, or will they go through these low-rent districts?
So they're going to have to cross the bridge. There's really no other way to do it. From there, most folks are going to go right down the middle because it's safer, better streets, and the porters you hired are less likely to run off with whatever goods you're having them carry for you. Cutting through the back streets, not so often. Usually that would be somebody who's trying to avoid paying tolls or taxes or get through with something unnoticed. Most of the goods that you would expect that you would identify aren't the smuggling type. You remember some of the cast iron stoves that would stand out a little bit. A couple of boxes, crates, a few pieces of furniture that were really nice, paintings, things that would be hard to hide just because of the size of them, as well as a few things that are just an odd color, and that sort of thing.
Baldur's Gate's not likely to care that it's contraband. They're just going to want to see it declared.
I just want to see it declared. And now, does anyone happen to have any forgery or documentation skills?
Well, not documentation skill, but we did pick up that manifest, and I still have it.
Ooh. I am good at disguise kits.
Okay.
The disguising of
I don't have
documents.
forgery. Yeah.
I can write in 2 languages.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
The thing that I've
Good.
got to bring to the table is I can get at least me and one of us a room for free. But as long as I sing for our supper. So
I
maybe
can also.
if we go up the middle road there, we can maybe stay in a nicer place, get some dinner, and I can perform for. I mean, imagine I could sneak somebody into a room with me. So,
According to my background as an urchin, I have city secrets and know secret patterns and flow of city and can find passages through, maybe?
Sure. Okay.
Don't know if that helps us. Maybe it does. We are in city. Would I know of any other ways into the city?
So how about a let's try like a history kind of check, maybe?
Okay. That's gonna be questionable. Let's see. Okay. It's
Okay.
not bad.
So from your time at the gate, you know that traveling from north to south or south to north, or even coming in from the east, it's just not real easy to move through this area without going through the gate. The mountains aren't good for it. The river's not good for it. The marshy land around it's not good for it. So everything pretty much passes through town, and that's how the merchant lords of Baldur's Gate make their money, really. It's almost easier to deal with them than it is to just try and pass through. And, you know, you've been probably party to some of those sorts of shakedowns. You know, somebody tried to sneak past and come through the outer city, and they ran afoul of a lizard person and their mentor that probably relieved them of a few coin for their trouble. I'm inserting this. Does that seem reasonable, Yaz, or are you more of the, forthright and honest?
What?
What?
Never did
Never.
we say that? Yes, that probably happened.
Okay. So you know that trying to avoid paying the tolls is discouraged at both a legal and illegal level. Now you know that on both the north and the south side there tend to be groups of merchants gathering together looking to pick up hirelings. So when you wanted work and if you just needed, a couple extra gold, you could hire on to walk, a few days south or help, get things organized a few days south, get your pay, and then return to the gate. A few days north, get your pay, return to the gate. That's pretty common. And you can tell that there's a lot of stress going on at the moment because they're hiring guards a lot more than before. And Rob, you'd mentioned doing a little bit of song and dance and reconnoitering. How about an investigation from you there?
Okay.
So, on top of the tension that came from the disturbances with the pit fiends 3 to 4 years ago, the just general mix that happens that now that there's a new duke, that the power structure is in flux. There's also rumor of raids, dragons picking off merchants on the road, whole caravans disappearing. So what is normally a steady stream of small caravans has turned into clumps of larger ones as they band together. Enough people with enough bows is going to dissuade even a dragon from attacking. So there are large caravans building up on both the north side and the south side, and set from there.
Well, knowledge everybody on that.
Absolutely. Now, what is an acceptable living conditions for you all? As you know the old stomping grounds, you could go hang out there for free. Rob, you could get into a lower middle class establishment and find yourself a place to stay. Is that okay with everybody else, or does anybody, want to live the high life while they're there?
I also have the rustic hospitality background feature, so I can find a place to stay amongst the common folk pretty easily.
Sure. Now, Yaz, is your mentor still up and about?
No, that is other part of the reason why he left Pitfiend and to find Mentor because got separated during that
That's right.
thing.
Yep, during all that kerfluffle. So the old stomping gowns are a little bit different than they used to be, but you can find a place to stay and, you know, on the good recommendation. Andrin and Chiquito?
I can sleep outside of the gates. I just don't want to lose anybody.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm most worried about. I'm not a fan. I don't think so. I mean, this area. I mean, I guess it's not as they wouldn't mind me. Yes.
We're all odd folk in our own special way. I'm sure they wouldn't mind another odd one as long as you, don't poke.
Wear faces. Okay.
Yeah. No, don't wear faces, and I was going to say don't poke nose where it doesn't belong, but you don't have nose, so.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I won't. I'll make sure I
Maybe.
won't do that.
And
I'm
invite
sure-
extends to Anarin as well.
I'm sure that if we look, we can find common folk who will let us sleep in the barn or a stable. But we also have some coin if we want to get an inn.
Well, I think the the reason why we're here is, I mean, we need to intercept maybe a bit these guys coming in. And you said, yes, maybe the best choke point might be that bridge.
Mm-hmm. That is, it's too difficult on many levels for individuals to get in without passing through there. So it also would be the less suspicious route for someone who might be trying to bring things in. So they might be trying to be A, going easiest, and B, trying to be as less suspicious as possible and following the crowd. As that might be that's most likely where they'll come from, if I had to guess.
I'd say maybe the best option might be to find some place kind of close to that bridge so we could kind of scope it out.
Sounds good. So,
That.
what I'm going to ask for is everybody to give a little consideration to what skill they may be applying to this effort. And then similar to some of the skill checks we did before, I'm going to ask you what order we're going to apply them in. Failures will make it harder on the next person. Successes will make it easier. If we end up with more successes than failures by the end, we do what we want to do. If we end up with more failures, then we find a new way to do a thing. So, things that I've heard so far, sounds like a little bit of scouting on the bridge for products coming from the south. That'll give you the opportunity, Anrin, to check out the horses and that sort of thing. Check out the carts as they're coming in. Be able to scope out the people and see the goods packaged up. Now, as the goods are being moved through the town itself, they would have to be unpacked and carried through. So if we're checking out the goods, in town would be a little bit easier than on the road south. If we wait till they get on the north side and then start reorganizing again, you would get a good look at the goods and you'd see the people for longer because they're going to gather there more than pass through. So those are kind of our three target areas. South side, a little bit easier. You can see animals, you can see carts, but things are packed up and people are passing through. In town, people are carrying goods individually through, so you get a better look at the goods and a decent look at the people. On the north side, people are milling about, goods are getting packed back up again. Okay.
My sort of thought, just for what I'd be good at, and I'm good with us trying whatever, but if we take one of the sides, like the south side or the north side, I might be able to chat up, one of the toll takers, one of the guards that's taking the toll, and just keep myself by that person. So I just, I got a little bit of the gift of the gab. We haven't talked about that, but that's kind of like chewing the fat. But
Thank you. I appreciate the explanation.
Okay.
It's not the same, but it's close.
I'm good at faking the fat.
You can fake the fat. Well,
I
we
could
should
fake
talk
the
about
fat.
that later. Yeah.
Okay.
We might need it for cooking. But no, we can talk about it now. I don't care. Fake fat. Anyway, my thing was I was gonna try to persuade a guard or one of the toll sort of people to let me hang out and just keep talking and talking and talking, keeping my eye open for things as they go by, and just maybe even hear if anybody's heard anything.
Mhm.
Just keep chatting, and see if I can glean anything from either what they've seen or what goes by me as I'm walking. That was my idea for the north side.
Sure. Sounds good. Now, the guards and most of the forces in town belong to a mercenary company known as the Flaming Fist. There's one other mercenary company that's actually opened up recently. Yaz, that's news to you. The Fist used to defend that monopoly fiercely, but apparently there's a new crew in town that you could potentially hire onto. But the members of the Fist keep the watch. They've got their toll gate, and you can see them doing it. Now, Rob, do you have any particular ins with guards or anything like that, other than your raw, devastating charisma and personality? Anything else I should be aware of leaning you in that direction?
No, I don't. I don't necessarily have any ins with the authority.
Okay, fair enough. So persuasion and what angle? Certainly, an entertainer such as yourself would be a welcome diversion, so long as you're not an obvious diversion from something shady happening. But if you happen to be standing there playing music, making their day a little more entertaining, they'd probably be totally fine with that. Is there anything more that you're going for there?
No, I think what as you described that, I think I'd start out like just trying to busk a little bit on the side, and then as I get tired or maybe get a good crowd and have the crowd lead walk over and just say big busy day and just strike up a conversation, then walk away, not to look overly suspicious, but just keep striking up a conversation, see if I can get somebody to if they look like they like the performance, then maybe talk to them more and see if they'll talk to me more, and just ask them about their day, what kind of weird shit have they seen.
Sounds good.
So
is everybody good with that being our lead off? Is there anything that anyone would like to do either ahead of that on the road or leading up to Rob working on getting himself in place with the toll takers?
If questioning animals is
Right.
something that wanted to be done, I know Anrin can do that as part of the ritual.
Mhm.
I can cast it as well, and I'm okay at stealth. And I'm decent at lying if I need to get out of like, why are you talking to my horse? Oh, I'm not talking to your horse. What are you doing? So, I could potentially help Anrin in that area.
So, what happens with the horses? Are the horses led around town to meet at the north gate?
Most of the time, the horses will take a caravan then heading south. So generally, the animals are
So
going to
they'll just
stop
trade
there
off.
and then turn around and go back the other way. Some are sold. Not many take the long way around town. That's expensive.
Okay.
Usually, it's better to stop a caravan on the south side, start a new one on the north side.
You could try to hire on with your particular skill with handling animals, helping with reassigning them. It would give you an opportunity to be near them and would not be conspicuous.
Good call. That's right. They are looking. There's a lot of hiring going on. I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that sounds clever.
I think
like
I'm hearing Anrin will be working with Yaz to do some horse interviewing. Yaz
Yes.
primarily handling the why are we doing this? So probably like a deception something. Okay. Anrin.
Deception.
And I only need a little bit of time. First, just sort of like checking out to see if these are the horses. And then if we find one of the horses, then I also would like to use beast sense on the horse, because then I could actually hear and see what the horse is hearing and seeing.
Okay.
And I'd also gain, anything great about the horse's hearing or seeing that I might not otherwise have. And maybe potentially be able to gather information. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to be a very odd-looking elf barbarian statue, or at least not paying much attention to my surroundings. So I would need to be pretending to be sort of like in a stupor, drugged, something that would make sense. And so I think Yaz could probably help with that too.
So,
Oh, there, buddy.
Okay, so I think I got a good image of what's happening there. Chiquito and Sho, what are you two up to for this first effort?
Rob, are you thinking you would go to the north gate or the south gate?
I was thinking the north gate sort of as a last resort. Like hopefully we know stuff ahead of time.
I think I
if
don't
we're
have a
the
lot
south
of
side-
skills that would be helpful here. So what I think I might do is find a nice hat that will hide me some, and then just find a place where I can sit and watch the north gate that doesn't seem out of place. When the weather is nice, I'm sure there are people that sit and watch.
Sure.
And I will just be nearby in case something goes poorly.
Sounds good.
Oh,
And then
well,
Chiquito?
I'm I'd like to keep a lookout. Maybe if we have to question anyone, pretty good with a bit of insight and maybe a bit of perception. So whatever maybe that might come into play, I'll be there to anything to use the old noggin, but more of the street or the nature's senses.
Okay. So the spots that I think you would pick up on for an insight, you'd probably need to be in amongst the people. Perhaps hiring yourself as a porter to carry goods through town, or to be mingling with them as they start to hire on and build up a caravan on the north side would probably be the two spots to go for. Which would you want to do? If you were in town, I think you'd be on your own. If you were at the north gate, you would be with Rob and Sho.
I would definitely want to stick with someone, so we'll go with the north.
Got it. Okay, so let's lead off with our horse whisperer and distraction. Anrin, if you could go ahead and give me, let's try a animal handling or something along those lines to recognize the horse itself by color, outline, gait, etc. And then we can zoom in from there. So there's a lot of animals moving back and forth, and they've been on the road for quite a while by the time you see them again. So they're looking a little more tired. You think maybe perhaps those are some. And as you go into your little standy-uppy trance, I think we're going to need somebody to be moving you out of the way of the oncoming carts and explaining why there's a weird elf statue that no one remembers commissioning. Yaz, could we see that follow-up? Okay.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So, Anrin, you think you spot a few animals, and it's been a while. They're not paired the same way. They're not on the same carts. It looks like they've shuffled them around a little bit. They've probably already done some things to hide this. Are you diving in? This would be a little bit riskier, but this could get you a confirmation. You'd probably need to do a little investigation, get right up in there, talk with the horses, see what they see. I don't think you get memories, so you could see what they see, but you have to, interview one of them. Get up there, ask the hard questions.
Okay. So I can either have the conversation with the animal, which would be, speaks with animals, or I could do the beast sense, which would be sort of like seeing what they see and just hope. go ahead and I'm going to do the Speaks with Animals. So I'm going to go ahead and cast that.
Okay. So you get your Speaks with Animals. You can now tune it in. You can start to hear them. I'm thinking maybe an investigation or something along those lines to be able to figure out questions that you can ask a horse, which has a completely different thought process than a people, that would identify where they came from. You know, maybe what type of hay were you have? What were the hills like? You know, how hard have you been pulling? Things that a horse can remember because they don't know greenest from anywhere.
Exactly. Okay. Investigation or insight? No.
I could say insight.
Okay, I'd rather try insight.
Okay.
A whole lot better.
You talk and you speak with them and you're like, well, do you remember me? And it doesn't click. You're either these aren't the horses or they don't remember you. You don't get a real solid confirmation, but you had a feeling, and you haven't given the game away. So no harm, no foul, but not a solid lead yet. Anrin, are you passing along a message to the folks at the North Gate that you're pretty sure they're coming, or are you just leaving it as it is?
Would I be able to possibly ask
Oh yeah, I mean
questions?
between the two of you. Sorry.
Oh, wait. What?
So at this point, Anrin, the feedback is maybe, I think, but So between the two of you, are you passing any information along to the folks at the North Gate, or leaving it as it is?
Yeah, as you're saying that you also have beast speech, so you want to talk to the horse
Right.
as well?
If there was time in between to ask a question, I was curious if that was
Yeah,
possible.
sure. I'm sorry. Yeah. So investigation or insight. I don't think you talked to any of the horses earlier, though.
No.
Okay, so I'd probably push towards investigation then, because you're gonna really have to logic it backwards.
Yeah. I plan to ask if they remember horseshoe-shaped mountain with many tiny lizards. Mainly, see if they remember those things.
Okay.
Horseshoe-shaped mountains, tiny lizards, maybe.
Hmm?
Investigation, and I'm gonna use chat inspiration on this one.
Sounds good.
Because investigation ain't so great.
Ooh,
I
that's
didn't
not
even
bad
need
at
it.
All right, so yeah, between the two of you, yeah, you're pretty sure that these horses were involved. They seem to recognize the idea of kobolds. Anrin, you're like, you know me, and they're like, I don't remember you. Did we go to high school together?
But I'm confident. Yes, you're sure they remember the horseshoe-shaped mountain and the little lizards.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to go ahead and do the beast sense, and then we can go ahead and send a message up front that yes, we're pretty sure, and I'm going along in one of the horses' heads.
Okay. So the horses reach the south gate. Oh, huzzah! Thank you. Thanks for the follow, Gaming and BS. Accurate description. So you're at the south side. You do the beast sense, and you start to be able to see and hear what the horses. It's not fantastically informative because basically they're stopped there, and then the unloading begins. And you hear a lot of cursing. You hear a lot of complaints about the tolls, that sort of thing. And give me a quick, let's call that one an investigation, and it's going to have to be super high to come up with anything useful amongst Teamster cursing. Yeah, you learned some new words. You learned a lot of new words. You didn't know goblin could be used that way, but...
no goblin, so that's
there you
even
go.
better.
I did.
So just very interesting words.
It's got a whole list of new idioms to ask about.
Remembering them so I can ask Rob when I see him.
Almost all of them involve inserting something in somewhere. But now with the north side of town, I think we're probably leading in with the busking of our performer.
Sure.
All right. Rob, as you start your busking, I think performance is appropriate here, unless you want to go somewhere else.
Nah, performance will work for the start off.
Got it. Oh, yeah. You're very entertaining. Now, aside from hanging out and doing a little bit of gold searching, a couple of folks do stop by. Are you looking to hire on to head north?
Are you looking for a song and dance man?
Well, a song and dance man only. No. Can you shoot a bow?
Yeah, and I've been, impressed. I can sling a stone too.
Man, slings are for chumps, but all right.
For chumps. I'm on that.
So my name's Celeban, and I own the wagon yard over there. I do a little bit of organizing on the side, so if you're looking to join in a caravan for a small portion of your fee, I can negotiate for you. See that you're hired on well. Get your board covered. I'll keep an ear on you, and if you sound good, we'll see if we can find somewhere that's looking for a little bit of song and dance and light guard work.
How many people you think they're looking to hire on? I got a crew of people.
With the talk of dragons, I'd say just about as many as they can afford. Now,
5 too much? 4 plus me?
Well, they any good?
Yeah, damn good, actually.
Alright, well, basically, if you want in on one of the caravans, you're either going to be paying or you're going to be being paid. Being paid's always been my preference. Yeah. So, what kind of folks there? Entertaining troupe? I mean, 5 might be a bit much.
Well, I mean, they're all entertaining. They're just not professionally entertaining. That's sort of my job.
Okay.
But, folk who've got a couple skills they've picked up along the way here and there. Usually, most of them pretty good around the natural elements and know their way around the wilderness pretty good.
Okay.
One who's really good in the city.
So. How far north you plan on heading?
I don't know. We usually go where the wind goes, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Well, basically, most of the folks that I'll hire on for, or, I'll get a commission for, you're going to be paying your way in legs. So you make your way up to Dragonspear, Daggerford, or Waterdeep, depending on how far you want to travel and how far you want to commit to. If you're not sure how far you want to go, if you commit to Dragonspear, I'll get you a decent rate. You're going to have to negotiate on your own from there, though. So, yeah, I'll let you know when the next caravan's. Where are you staying at?
I think we did secure. I'll just tell them where we're staying.
Yep. All right, great.
Mid-price place.
I'll send word. There's not enough folk around that they're going to be leaving for another 3 or 4 days at least. And he's going to look it around, adding it up. And anybody who leaves before then, you don't want to be with them. That's not going to deter a dragon. So, excellent. Yeah. If you have any questions, that's my spot over there. And he points to where, the wagon shop is.
Gotcha.
Happy to meet you.
Good to meet you. Thank you.
He heads away. Now, performance. You've ingratiated yourself to the local. Setting up. Guards seem to be tolerating you. They give you a little bit of a side eye anytime coins get dropped into your hat. And you get the impression that maybe you should slide a few copper their way every time a silver hits you.
I was thinking I would walk over and say, hey, guys, look like you might be thirsty after work. This might help out with that. So,
much appreciated, much appreciated. And of course, performers such as yourself, we don't even need to bother seeing the paperwork. You just go ahead and do your entertaining.
Thank you kindly, appreciate it. Anything strange been coming by? I'm not gonna be that unsubtle. Hey, have you seen my pants?
Kobolds?
There's a nice leather pair of pants. No, I just sort of yeah.
Like this is like 3 years back there was a pit fiend.
Oh,
I mean, we got an
Yeah.
angel and a devil in town. What are you looking for, buddy?
I think I would do a little bit more like leading into the boring job and anything interesting go by. That anything what's the last day? I heard about the pit fiend. I mean, we all heard about that. They got around, but I mean, anything happen for you guys? Or are you just staring at crap running by all day?
It's actually been a good year so far. A lot of caravans heading out. They say they're going to finish the road north, get us all the way up to Neverwinter again. So that's kind of exciting. I think folks are hoping that happens. If they can catch the high road all the way up there, they won't have to pay the boat fares anymore. So it's
Good.
It's interesting. He shoots the breeze with you, but
Chatting up.
yeah, not a whole lot going there. Another idiom for
Chatting up.
chatting up and shooting the breeze.
Yep.
But Chiquito and Sho, as you are keeping an eye on things and insighting, I think Sho was holding in final reserve, so Chiquito doing the insightful blending.
As best as I could blend insightfully.
Yeah, insightfully blending. So how do you accomplish insightful blending? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
What you do?
I was enjoying the performance. That was pretty good.
There's that.
I'll walk by and give you some coins myself.
And I mean, to Rob's credit, Rob does pull in attention. I mean, Rob's sitting there playing. People look over like, yeah, absolutely.
I think I would use if I could use insight, I would want to see maybe if I or perception recognize maybe some kind of tell a little bit, maybe that the cultist, maybe there might be a cultist here, or maybe already just something, a bit of a tell to see if I recognize maybe there might be a group that we need to kind of hone in on in the area.
Sure. So go ahead and throw me down an insight as you start looking for more or less obvious signs of the cultist. You know a couple. You've seen the little hand signals that they throw up. You know a little bit about the regalia, so you're looking for purple, looking for dragon scale, that sort of thing. You saw enough of those cheaply made swords that if you saw one of those, maybe that would tip you off.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give myself some guidance. I'm going to go,
all right, let's see. Boop.
That's pretty good.
Might as well roll. Might as well get the full extent. Oh, okay. Whatever.
Still good. That's a 24. Good. That's a respectable. So as you're looking about and you're hearing Rob in the background and you're looking for signs of cult activity and you're like, all right, what would be a giveaway that somebody was in a cult? And you're like, why does that person have a picture of Rob? And you see amongst the crowd looking at Rob, someone looking down a little square of parchment, looking up at Rob, and they tuck the parchment away.
Would Sho be nearby?
I think Sho's within a couple of 100 feet. Sho?
What I'm picturing is sitting like outside the gate on like a low stone wall, a little ways off the side, and just sort of watching.
Okay. So maybe more like 500 feet away, but within visual range.
All right.
Close enough that I could see Rob.
Would you have the dragon's eye?
I don't imagine that I would, no.
Okay. Well, he would. I mean.
And she's wearing a very stylish hat.
Okay. definitely I see that. There's that person talking with anyone else, or they seem alone?
You didn't notice anyone else. They sort of did the look at that, and then just tucked it away, and then moved off. Now, in the north side, a lot of people are milling about. They're going to buy wagon pieces, negotiate. They're carrying goods. So you don't see who they're grouped with yet. That would take a little bit of pursuing on your part.
Okay. I would try to get Rob's attention quickly. Or, I guess. I mean, I want to let them know that I see something. So maybe
Okay.
I'll, trying to keep an eye on them. I kind of try to look up over at Rob, a ways off.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of give like a kind of look. He's kind of.
Maybe. Rob.
Thing prevent me from seeing him do that? Or
No,
would I
you could definitely see it. It might take
Yeah.
a few extra tries because Chiquito, I'm pretty sure you're still expressionless, so it's just a blank face going like this. But then,
Yeah.
Oh, that means trouble.
Definitely.
I think when we worked out code names, maybe we worked out hand signals.
This was true. Yes.
He draws a
Alright.
frowny face on his
Yeah.
face, just like.
Shit, I don't know if that's for me or for him. But I will go over by Chiquito. Just saunter over, like, well, now it's time to busk on this side of the street.
Oh, there was a really good. I saw someone looking at your portrait. They're over there.
What portrait?
The one, the
They have a
portraits of you.
Did this
Unless-
person look at me at all?
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Was it a young girl look like me at all?
No.
All right.
I was
well,
thinking
that's-
more of the why you.
well, somebody might be looking for me who I wouldn't be scared of necessarily.
Okay. No, wasn't a young girl that
So
looked
we're
like
looking to
you.
Make sure we saw Yaz. Is that what we're
Yes,
talking about?
exactly.
Oh man, that's not good.
No, you got everyone's attention with that beautiful performance. By the way, that was really good. I meant it. I should have gave you more coins than I did. I didn't mean. I
Was
didn't want
that
to look.
you?
That
Oh,
was,
man.
of course. I was like, you're doing a great job. Yeah.
Oh, that's too generous, man. I gave him to the guards. I hope that yields something.
I don't care. That's fine. Well, but either way, yeah, they're right over there. Don't look too. Yeah.
yeah, and Chiquito, as you're like, they're right over there. Don't look too hard. Would you do me a favor and for reasons? Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Oh, you got it.
All right, here we go. Great. Oh, wonderful.
So you're like, after clapping out loud and gesturing with your
Right,
fingers,
don't look.
then you're like, don't look that way. You suspect that perhaps the reason that person isn't there when you say look over that way is they may have noticed your conversation.
Yeah, make sure you don't. Oh. I swear they were right over there.
Well, I definitely believe you.
They might have noticed me, maybe.
Well, yeah, we need to work on your blending and woodwork. But that's
Yeah, I mean, I'm very good. My woodwork is very good. I've been meaning to give you something. It's not done yet, but stay tuned.
okay. I will stay tuned. Yeah, I reckon. Woo. All right. Well, I guess I'll just.
Now, show, I'm going to
look
say,
like I
even
meant
from
to be on
500
this
feet,
side.
you've probably noticed this going on if you wish to.
All you see is his head going, us going back and forth, going like this.
Don't understand. It's probably an idiom.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And by the way, show proficiency bonus has awarded an inspiration, so do have an inspiring moment as you are viewing the goings on
I shall
from
endeavor
your.
to do so.
There you go. So, it seems as though one of you has been noticed, but you have identified some of the cultists have definitely come into the area. They are making their way to the north side. You do see some of the goods being assembled to get ready to go out. You probably have 5 days or so before the caravan is up to strength to head out. So, over the course of the next 5 days, that caravan will be getting ready to head out. You have identified some cultists in there. You have an offer to join the caravan. But there's a bit of a disguise issue, maybe. You have identified them. They may have also identified some or all of you. They didn't come charging at you swords drawn. But what's the plan? What are you going to do from here?
Who they identified are the two with disguise proficiency.
Is this in reference to all of us, or?
Yeah. So you've all
Okay.
kind of, we'll say, the little time passes. You've all sort of gathered back up.
And then I was going like this, and I pointed, and they were gone.
Oh, I
Sorry,
saw
guys.
that. I saw that. I want to do it too.
That means danger. That means
Oh, I
danger.
don't want to
Everybody,
do it.
let's
I
go.
don't want to do that then.
No, because
Yeah, and I think maybe for just safety's sake that's a Chiquito thing that we know it means danger, but if we all do it, I think we stick out even more.
Yes, I think you're right. It was
Okay.
very conspicuous seeing the two of you do it.
Where are we? Where are
It was
we at the
kind of
moment?
fun.
Where are we?
So
Are we
I think
like in a room?
I think so I think you're back in the lower town of Baldur's Gate, back in amongst the habitation that you've accomplished.
Okay.
So not a great tavern, but somewhere that's got a common room and a few private rooms, and you're not at risk of being overheard at the moment.
Okay.
So definitely yes. It's okay. You could try it. It's okay. I don't.
But I'm not in danger.
But just for it's just you'll remember it better if you do it. That's
Oh,
what
I
I've
will not
learned.
forget it.
Okay, you say that. And there you go, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does bring up an important question, though.
Yeah.
We are all a bit conspicuous.
Yeah.
I was actually
Can
going to.
We do
Oh,
about
sorry.
that.
I was actually going to ask, would it be possible for me to procure within the city disguise kit?
Sure, absolutely.
Cool. For would I be able to just say like, oh, I know a guy, and then like go
Yeah,
pay whatever? Okay, cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll do that
you
super quick then.
You could I know a guy and go get one like that, and we'll say probably at a 10% discount, but
Ooh.
99% stolen. So
99% stolen.
99% stolen for a 10% discount, or pay full price and it would be straight up. Oh, we lost Aaron.
Oh no.
Oh
Yaz, being who he is, will probably accept the 99% stolen 10% discount.
no! You got it. Not a problem. I mean, how long is grease paint gonna last anyway? So, it's expendable. What are the chances of getting caught? Very, very slim.
Yeah. Paint's paint. Who's gonna recognize paint? This isn't Elder Scrolls. It's not like, hey, that apple. I recognize that apple. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go buy that thing.
Absolutely.
And with that, would I be able to kind of like help? Would we be able to kind of plan out some sort of disguiseness?
Absolutely. So,
I'm going to buy.
Here's the problem I have. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to go out at some point and buy clothes that look very different than my tribal clothes.
certainly available.
Ooh.
takes a
Guess I
little
should find it.
takes a little doing, a little alteration, but there are enough cloth and enough tailors that they can get it, beat to fit and paint to match.
And also, I see some of the ladies in town, they wear these dresses. I've never seen one, and I want one.
Absolutely. How big would you like this dress to be?
Well, her barometer's pretty, like, she doesn't really have any frame of reference, so she's just really gonna see something and decide that's it. So whatever, like, really the first kind of pretty dress she sees,
Okay.
we'll go with that.
So there are kind of pretty dresses in the lower city. Someone has a well-made dress that they spent time on, and if you head over to the wide, just a few steps in, you'll see someone offering similar pretty dresses. But 2 stands down, there's a dress that's equally pretty, but that one has sparkles. And 3 dresses down, there's sparkles, ruffles. 4 more stands down, sparkles, ruffles, feathers, and so on until you reach the point that it's just Mardi Gras.
Okay, so I don't want sparkles, but I kind of want ruffles.
So I mean, there's stands in between. So, but yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of people telling stories up there. Apparently, some heroics happened that started in the wide. Rob, you pick up a couple new stories if you happen to be wandering around as well. But Sho, are you buying this yourself?
Yes.
Okay. I feel you have a concept of money, but how much money would you like to spend on this dress with ruffles?
I feel comfortable spending a couple of gold coins if I need to.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic dress that you have come up with. It's probably 2-3 years old in fashion, but it's new to you. And yeah, when you're like, I want more ruffles, so like, I can give you more ruffles. And nice big frame like yours, nice sturdy person, ruffle, ruffle, ruffle.
And I'm also going to spend just like a few silver on a real basic tunic and pants that are just really like will not stand out at all.
Absolutely. Got it.
I will do the same because I'm gross.
I would also like to buy a dress.
Oh, hey, thanks for the raid, folks.
Ooh.
Sorry, we are just ruffling up some of our fighters.
I would like to buy a plain blue dress.
Absolutely.
With a large blue bonnet, if possible, if I can find that.
Sure, you got it.
In case I need to make a very quick getaway.
Fair enough.
That color looks
Not a
lovely.
woman.
I just want to say, by my pretty blue bonnet, I will end you. But just have to prepare.
So what I'm hearing is the party is going for disguise. So some of you have been identified in town already, but it sounds like on the trip now.
Casey, I have a problem though.
Yeah.
Because the offer came to me as Rob Oakes. He didn't get my name, but I got to look like Rob Oakes if I show up to get that gig.
That's true.
So I kind of feel like if we're going to take the gig, and that might be the best way for us to get at this loot, get at this contraband, that I got to kind of be Rob Oakes, or at least look like Rob Oakes, give him a different name, but it doesn't matter because they're just going by my picture. And that's sort of what's going through my mind as I'm talking this out with everybody.
Yeah.
Does that mean I should invest in traveler clothes or costume high entertainment clothes?
Well, I don't think we're getting hired as entertainers. I think that was sort of a side bonus. Getting hired as protection, hired muscle, so to speak.
Okay, Cool,
Yeah.
because traveler's clothes cheaper.
Yeah,
Glad to
no,
get
yeah, get the traveler's clothes for sure.
Okay, cool.
I got a hole cut out, and your pants back.
So, Rob, as you're sort of musing on that concern, Celeban seemed like he was probably more interested in just getting his percentage than you specifically, and you suspect that given the focus this town has on coinage, if the percentage was perhaps a little higher, he wouldn't mind recommending you under a different name.
Sure.
So you're aware of
too.
that sort of looseness amongst traders.
Sure. So when I go back to him, I'm gonna negotiate again before we leave and say, look, here's the deal. Probably better if I don't look quite like this on the trip. Gonna look a little different. Maybe I should introduce myself. I'm Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce.
And yeah, the boss. You can call me either way.
I'm not going to call you my boss, but that's fine.
No,
that's good. He's not the boss. He works for you.
It's a nickname though. Like it's like chewing the fat. It's whatever. Here's the thing. I'm gonna look a little different. That can be a problem, and I slide over a gold.
Nah, shouldn't be any trouble at all. And the gold sort of disappears. So the good news is, caravan is forming up. It's going to be about 3 more days. They head out. I let them know I had an entertainer and a little bit of muscle. They've got some folks that are interested. Have you given any thought to how far along you're going to be? They were willing to cover, basically, food and company, heading up to Dragonspear. From there, you probably want to negotiate again. If you're willing to commit to further, I can get you a bit more coin.
Are any of you with me?
Buying a dress.
Yeah, alright. Look, I don't know that we can commit right now, and seems like going that far is probably good enough. We can revisit that there. Let's just see how it works out for that far.
Got it. So, I get you the information on who's going to be the most important folks to you. Of course, on the caravan, everybody's safety is important. If they start shooting up in the air, you shoot up in the air with them.
Keep your hands and legs in the cart at all times.
You're going to be walking, but...
Sure. Okay, yeah, right.
I mean, unless you want a horse. You want a horse? I'll sell you a horse.
Well, let me talk to my people. We'll see.
You got it. Again, got a great horse. Nice and broken in. Soft as suede.
Got a name?
Suede. That's why
Name
she's
is
soft
Suede?
as suede.
The name is really a selling point. I'll come back to you on that. Because I'm really only spending out of party goods. Yeah, well, seems like a good horse. I'll be back. And I kind of... we're going to commit, but I'll be back later.
You got it. So, you head on back. Party reconvenes. Roughly dress acquired. Little blue little blue number pie. What?
Show comes back wearing it.
Oh, okay. Show comes back wearing it. Show looks fancy.
What color?
Anrin, I don't know that I picked up what you and Chiquito were up to, we'll say today. What have you been doing?
Wearing a dress.
Okay.
I'm definitely looking askance. Dismay a little bit, but also a little bit of... I'm trying to think about what kind of disguise could I possibly want. Chiquito, how could you disguise yourself?
Besides wearing faces.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole wearing faces thing. I mean,
What did...
I do know about it. I've done it, but well,
You could turn into an animal.
I guess
I'm sorry.
so.
What
Yeah.
if you pretended to be a suit of armor?
A suit? Oh, yeah. I pretend to be. How would I pretend to be a suit of armor?
Well, the you, the human.
I look
you,
nothing like
on the
right.
No, but that's the beauty of suit of armor. You wear helmet. No one has to know. You just wear your helmet a lot.
Oh,
just
he's a
very
person
comfortable.
in armor.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
Oh, so he's
the
not
armor.
standing still.
I thought
He's
you were
pretending
just
to be
saying
a
I should be.
person in armor.
I was gonna
Yes.
be the armor.
No, well,
Oh,
I
that
mean,
makes a lot more sense.
yeah, it's you are a person inside the armor, which is actually you, but they don't need to know that. So you're like, oh, hello, my name is human name, but you're wearing armor.
That's kind of
I
that's
never take it off because I am ready all the time.
Yes, you are
Good
just
way.
that impressive. That's a selling point, I think.
I could
I don't
do
know.
that.
I don't like the. I don't know. I don't know what it would have to be something very light and something only the finest silks touch
No,
this
but
body.
no one has
so-
to know.
What
No one
Yes.
has to. Yeah.
is it going to
because-
be lined in silk?
No, I mean,
I
mean,
think we're
Wait.
talking about different things again.
yes.
Wait,
We're not actually going to. We're not actually going to. Sorry, I just looked at the chat. Um,
yeah, that's right.
sorry, I
Hello.
can't walk now.
It's quite all right. I'm over
'Cause
here
I
biting my
wouldn't be
tongue this
able-
whole time. So hang on, just to bring back a quick. Okay, you are you can integrate armor into yourself. You can
Yeah.
also wear armor on top of that. If you
Yeah.
wear metal armor on top of that, you do
Yeah.
lose your druid spellcasting ability.
It's
But
yucky.
you can
I don't
put
like
it on. So
yeah.
just to
But
clarify,
I'm
Yeah. Why
But
would I
what I'm
want to do? I don't.
suggesting
That's yucky.
No, what I'm
No.
suggesting is you are metal.
I get it. I look like armor. You're
Yes.
not the first person to say that.
Yes.
I just want to be armor
Yes.
anymore.
I'm
You're
sorry.
upsetting him.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to give him a hug.
Yeah, it's okay. You can do that. What?
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to be armor anymore.
I'm sorry. I was trying to be helpful. I didn't take into account the feels
You
you
had-
feel being who you are.
I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm not just a piece of metal. Yeah.
No, you're not. You are very intelligent and you are
Thank
you're
you.
very
I
resourceful.
am a resource. What else? Tell me more. What else?
You are
Do
very
you want the
handsome
dress?
and I
I
think you would look really
did.
good in a
Well,
dress.
I do not have my bonnet anymore, but if I did, that dress would look pretty. That dress is something else. Would I look good in a dress?
Oh,
He
absolutely.
would kind of turn around and kind of show his hips.
I wish Rob were here so much.
I feel like
Taquitos
you
huge.
have to walk in at this point. I feel like
Taquito's huge.
What?
What
What
do you think?
in
Well, I got the right. I could extend my hips a bit.
You come
think
in
that-
and Sho's wearing a burgundy dress with ruffles all over it. And Chiquito's showing his hips.
The tapes don't
I-
lie.
I look over at Anrin. I feel like I missed something here, and then I pulled my blue dress out and I start putting it on.
I feel insufficient with my traveler's clothes now. Should we be a troop of crossdressers?
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, it would only be a few of us, not the whole troop.
I think the armor idea that you had was a good one. And as long as it's not too heavy, I can wear the metal and I can be the suit of armor. And that way no one will be able to see me. And my tattoos will not stand out. I just need to find some now. So do we know where to get some?
oh sure, armor can be acquired at the Wide, or for a number of less reputable establishments that Yaz would know. Would you like your
Trust
armor?
Yaz.
Would you like your armor with body parts included or empty?
I am not particular about the body parts as long as I can clean the suit of armor. I trust Yaz to get something that will actually work.
Sure. What type of armor are you looking for?
Well, I would prefer that it not be heavy armor, but maybe some sort of medium armor, enough to maybe if she can find some dented and not too antique, elven armor, I would appreciate that.
Gently used.
Gently used.
Gently used. So yes, absolutely.
No magic, just style.
Yeah, just a little bit of armor. You can definitely find some along those lines. Let's say you're probably looking. Excuse me, my brain shut down as far as stuff goes. So something like a scale mail would be around 50 gold pieces. If you want to go a little crazy, something like a breastplate and accompanying pieces would be up in the 400 range. Hide,
That's too crazy.
Hide cheaper, around 10. And then you're down in these studded and padded leather areas for the lighter stuff. Elven make, probably you could find some that you could convince yourself was elven make, though.
Elvenish?
Elven-ish. Elven adjacent. Elven inspired.
Okay. Elven inspired. That sort of weird pan-Celtic thing. Okay, yes. That, as long as it's not, well, I don't care if it's leather or not, so.
I would just, if I was there with Anrin, I'd be like, well, you want to be careful with that scale mail, because that, I know you like to sneak through things, and that's going to make it a little harder.
That's why I wanted to get something that was made by my people, but a leather would work as long as it had some grace to it.
Sure. And you could find a studded, or you studded if you want to go light, or hide if you wanted to go medium. And we'll say that at standard rate, you've only got about 3 days to get all this together. So I'd say, standard rate, you could get that together. So 45 gold for studded, 10 for hide, as you chose.
I'll go with the studded.
Got it.
Okay. I was going to say, if you need help money-wise for the bit.
We were all paid 50 gold at the end of last session.
Yep.
Right.
Should be some cash floating about. All right, so as that starts coming together, I'm hearing some disguises. I'm hearing some hiding yourselves. I'm hearing, some
helmet
code names and helmets. Now, the trip could be some months long, so staying in disguise will be a little bit of an effort. Basically, avoiding detection day one is pretty much the key, and then after that, just not calling attention to yourself. So let's talk about the day one, mixing in event. I'm hearing disguise. I'm hearing some armor options, that sort of stuff. Could I have from each person in the party their choice of probably either a deception, possibly a stealth, or possibly a performance? Those are the three I can think of that make sense. Insight is probably not going to work, but if there's another one that you want to argue for, I'm willing to hear it. These are so far not going great.
Let me just reapply my paint, guys.
Sho is gonna show up in her dress and her trinket that I rolled at the beginning is a bit of folded cloth that unfolds into a stylish hat. So it's unfolded into like a lady's hat. So she's absolutely not stealthy. So I'm gonna try deception.
Okay.
But I'm also hiring on as a guard.
Okay.
So, however that works out. But I will use the chat inspiration for my deception.
Huzzah! Oh, thanks for the follow, AOK33. That was not a great roll either.
I'm off my game.
So, if I could have,
I'm sorry. I need to do one too. I'm sorry. I would just be wearing a bonnet because that's the only thing I could think of.
Yep.
I found a bonnet and I'm wearing it. Howdy. I'm here to help.
Oh, I did not think to not wear the greatsword in the maul and the shield and the warhammer with the dress.
I mean, when
You could
you
wear my
spent enough gold that the
clothes.
dressmaker probably provided you with like ribbons and streamers for each of those. So they've
Oh,
got
yes.
they're they've got their own little ruffle.
Yes, they're adorned now. But they're also strapped to my back, so the dress really isn't selling the idea that I'm not.
Well, I mean, you did go with a
Sure.
backless dress, so it looks like it's for it, I would imagine. Chiquito, did we get a roll?
Yeah. Okay.
I,
I'll just do this. I mean, could I persuade my way onto it? A bit
I
of
feel like that might call more attention to yourself than not,
All
but
right,
you can
this
try
moment,
it.
I'm wearing a bonnet and I didn't know I was expecting
you
more
just
help.
walk up to someone,
I
you're like,
did-
you
this
don't
is
know
all I
me.
got. Yeah.
Help! I
have a
have the
bonnet.
space kits.
Oh, yeah, I should have.
Clothes, you could wear my clothes. They at least aren't metal.
I have my rags. You want my rags?
I'm
As he
highly
goes walking in,
disfigured.
I'm just gonna
Hello.
singing a song. I'm gonna sing my Chiquito
just
song.
no one notices the entire time. How does it go?
Well, no, it's the same one I did before because I like it just for. We all know that's not Chiquito.
Chiquito.
Right there. No one's gonna see him. That was on panpipes.
So Chiquito,
And-
about that roll.
You have,
Estelle.
you have a D6 inspiration on that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna boot myself too. Oh, please,
Stacking them
Steph.
all up.
Oh boy.
Let's see if we can increase that a little. A D6 and a D4.
I should have done my inspiration from chat. Oh, I should have.
Oh, no, 7 and
Oh,
9.
Okay. So
Hello.
I
I'm
think
Chiquito.
the concern may actually be there are so many disguises in one small group. It starts to look a little obvious. Like, maybe one of you could have gotten away with it. It was just that in the crowd. But when you're all standing together, like, don't look at me, it seems to have perhaps.
I'm hideous.
Yeah.
Really, I forgot it was supposed to be a disguise. I just really like my dress.
No, it's very pretty.
So, despite all that, as you join up, and the caravan's getting underway, and the last-minute negotiations are happening, some of the wagon masters are looking for those last-second hires, and this is really your opportunity to make a little bit of gold on the way by committing to a particular wagon master to say, okay, if stuff goes down, I'm on your side. Could each of you please roll me a D20?
Yes.
Each of us?
Each of you, yep, a D20.
Oh, no.
Okay. So Show and Grumpy, you both find folks that are willing to hire you on. Show, they're willing to hire you on as a sergeant. They put you in charge of a couple of folks. You just look, like you can boss people around. Maybe it's the fact that you're rocking a rumpled dress with a maul and a great sword on your back, and that great sword's a little beastly looking as is. Rob, you get hired on by a merchant as an entertainer. They see how you're set up. They see what you're doing. They just hear the music in your voice. Like, weren't you? And
I sure was.
they offer you. Rob, you'll pick up 10 gold pieces per 10 day. And so that'll basically get you up to Dragon Spear, so you've got an additional 10 gold there. Show, you'll pick up 8 gold. The others, no one really springs for you in particular. You get your food, you get a place to stay, you're in with the caravan, but no one's really investing in whatever that is going on over there.
I'm used to it.
Can,
That's
can I
okay.
hire them
Comfortable.
as part of my troop?
Yeah,
Part of
that's
my
probably probably a good plan. So you call them in and keep yourselves together from there.
All right, and then I just go over to Chiquito. I'm like, well, I'm over here with this guy here, so just give me the signal.
You got
If
it.
anything happens, you got all right.
That is.
And it is 10:30, so let's go ahead and take our 3 to 5 minute-ish break, grab refills on drinks and such things while I dump out one set of information and bring in the other set of information for our journey up the coastway towards Dragon Spear. Every time I look over here and I look back, it's just a new thing going on. All
We
right.
have to keep you on your
We'll be
toes.
back in
Danger,
3 to
danger.
5.
Will Robinson.
Welcome, Sadie the goat.
Oh, that's the Arms of Hater.
That's
No, no,
the
no.
Arms of Hadar, yeah. Oh boy, oh boy.
This is
Oh, wow. So, did my mic do something? Or what happened? Because I went AFK.
I know.
And
I
we have
know.
to assume the other 3 have pictures too. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't look like disguised. We just look weird at this point for those of us who failed, I'm assuming.
I
Yeah,
shaved my beard off and stopped wearing my hat. Is basically what I'm doing.
I probably would have painted myself blue, and then maybe tied my frills back to kind of try and look like the Dragonborn tendrils.
Mm-hmm.
The tail makes things difficult, but maybe he's just a Dragonborn with an abnormality.
Dragonborn wannabe, which is okay too.
Ah,
You
nothing
know.
wrong with being a wannabe.
Exactly.
Oh, and I have thieves tools now. I bought thieves tools as well, so now we have that.
Oh,
Don't know
good.
if that. Yes.
Well, I'm hoping that if I stay in my armor and everybody else starts to sort of like calm down and move away from the more extreme aspects of the disguise, then I'll look a little bit more normal. Because
I was hoping to find one of those just glasses with an attached nose.
Curiously in low demand most places in the world. But
I've been
Good.
awkward with his twigs to put them on. It's been a little crooked, but
so can you assume an animal form? You could do a different one every day. Who'd
Yeah.
notice?
I'm a little surprised that didn't come up as an option when you guys were all
I
talking.
was just
I'm like,
assuming
different.
that's what he'd do.
I'm like,
That's
I
what I
thought it was
thought
just
it
going to
was
be a
gonna be.
badger the whole time.
Yeah. Be a bad.
I wanted to bust in and do a thing like, he's a person and he has feelings.
but to be fair, I would only have
Inspired.
be an animal for what?
A couple hours.
Now it's a couple hours. So I would have had
4 hours, I think,
Yeah.
at most. So
yeah.
it would.
I'd be a badger, and then once we were 4 hours out, hey, who are you?
Oh, that's okay. We'll ease into it here. The fellow that you have been hired on by is Samurdog, and a lot of people call him the Hoper. He is a wagon master in charge of a. We're gonna call it a wagon. It's a little ramshackle. But inside is filled with the rather nice-looking porcelain products. Looks like a fairly expensive haul. They're packed, not greatly. And every time there's a bump or a rut in the road, everybody who's close enough to hear it sort of tenses up a little bit, like something's going to break, but so far nothing has. He's hired you on to make sure that if there's any trouble, that you assist in guarding it, and that hopefully he won't be forced to kick the horses into high gear, because that could be disastrous. There are other folks in among the caravan. You would say there's probably a good 20 carts and wagons that are going to be traveling as a group. Now, they travel strung out in a line, so it would take several minutes to get from the front to the end. But if there is trouble, the basic idea is bunch up, not in 20-foot radius circles, a little bit larger than that, and shoot as many arrows as possible at whatever's troubling you. Which is really the best defense they can come up with against dragons and other such folk at the moment. For the first couple of days, are you laying low? Are you doing a little mingling? What's everybody thinking about doing as they hit the road? You realize fairly quickly that your disguises probably aren't holding up real well.
I'm laying as low as I can.
On the second day, I have changed out of the dress into the just pants and tunic, and I'm just directing the soldiers, the guards that I'm supposed to be in charge of.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And we'll say for convenience. Oh, okay, what just happened there? Oh, gifting a sub to Geist. Thank you much. So we'll say for convenience sake and a little bit of arranging on your part, the party is the guards that you've associated with. The only one who is pulled a little bit further away fairly frequently is Rob Oakes to provide the music and entertainment. Rob, you can cruise fairly easily between the 2 or 3 wagons that your party is guarding and the one that the merchant you are with is in. The merchant who hired you, Rob, is Oin Evanmore. Evanmore's cart is rather musical in and of itself. It's filled with exotic birds, songbirds, in fact. And Oin has sort of pulled you aside and says, Rob, of course, interested in the entertainment that you provide as well, but I was hoping if you could play the same music repeatedly. The birds, I've been told, will pick up on a song, and if we could arrive in Dragonspear with the birds knowing a tune, that would be fantastic.
Awesome.
So
I've been working on a new song.
Oh, wonderful.
It's The Lady in Burgundy.
Oh. Tell me more.
Ooh.
Never have I seen... I haven't written it out. But...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll work on it for next time. But yeah, it'll be The Lady in Burgundy, and it'll be to the tune of Lady, read by Krista Berg.
Sounds good. So as Oin with the exotic birds and Samurdog, the Hoper or the Hopeful, depending on how you like to state it, is moving along with the fragile porcelain. Ahead, there is a gnome who is just sort of hanging off the back of the wagon in front of you, his legs just sort of dangling down, staring back at you the whole way. Doesn't seem to make eye contact and just sort of vacant stare looking back over at all of you. It's one of those things you look up and it looks like he's looking at you, but no, it's just somewhere a little bit past you. Behind you, another cart coming up. This one led by a female dwarf. You picked up the name Tajit, but you haven't picked up what she's carrying. Keeping to yourselves throughout the day. Anything else you wish to do? Otherwise, it'll be walking along.
Yeah, Yaz would just be kind of staying as low as he can right now.
At some point, I'll try to talk to Yaz. And say, Yaz, if you have the opportunity, perhaps you could speak to some of the other guards and see if you can get a feel for what is going on throughout the caravan. You are better at speaking to people than I am, but you might be able to learn something about the other wagons and the caravan, and we can get which ones we might need to be aware of.
Sounds good. Sounds good. DM question.
Sure.
Would I also be able to send maybe, put Coca on one of the carts and have them kind of listen and then kind of like check in back with them and see what they hear later?
Yes. When you are speaking with Coca, you are more speaking rat than Coca is speaking common, though. So Coca
Gotcha.
Coca can't understand people talking.
Okay.
Coca could do things like chew into a box and tell you if what was inside there tastes good, but can't really spy without some additional assistance.
Gotcha.
Working with Anrin, though, the combo there might be able to pull off some spying.
Okay.
So,
We'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, let's start off with a fateful D20. And in this case, high is bad. We want to see low on this fateful D20. Hey! The luck finally pays off. So, the day
We're
passes.
rolling low anyway.
The day passes what we're going to call uneventfully until we know what happens. So, no one seems to be paying you any more attention or less than is normal. Everybody's sort of getting to know each other. Everybody's kind of got their heads down and trudging away. It's the start of a journey. Wagons are breaking in. They're learning that they bought the wrong horse. All that stuff is going on. Is the party taking any actions on this first day that we should talk about skill-wise? Or is it heads down, marching along? Anrin and Yaz, you might be coming up with a plan. We could talk about using some skills on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we getting a day out before we start enacting plans?
We could talk about the plan, but I would want to wait at least a day before doing it.
I might do what Sho recommended. I might just kind of try. Maybe not today getting information, but definitely trying to build rapport. I like just kind of talking to people.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And if that involves like a deception or something.
I would say either a deception if you're trying to trick them into giving something away, or an insight if you're just trying to get to know them.
Well, I'm really bad at insight, so I'll go with deception. That is my strength, except last roll. That was not my strength.
Fair enough. Can we go ahead and see a deception as you start moseying about, trying to figure out who's who and what's going on?
All right, here we go.
So, despite being a strength, it wasn't a particularly successful day. You have met up with a fellow named Lasferl. Wow. I didn't practice this name, I apologize. Lasfelro. And he sort of latches onto you. I mean, he sees you come by. Yep.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last bit again?
Sure.
I got called and I missed.
Sure. So a merchant, or wagon master, Lasfelro, he drinks heavily, and he says his name incorrectly as often as he does. He breaks out into song. He does a lot of joke telling. He's decent and he's companionable, and he's always, trying to get you to come on over, have a good time. He offers, a slug of wine from his wineskin. But as soon as you get there and he sits down and he gets back up there, he just sort of changes. That merry mood drains away, and he just sits there like a gargoyle, just staring at the road ahead of him. Like, he just changes.
What is on your mind? Copper for thoughts. Felro?
And he's just like,
That's not worth copper. Here, come on. What's on mind?
And that sort of just goes on, and it's like you're good natured and you're inquisitive and you try and draw him out of his shell, but he's just, and then I think after a while, eventually you just have to move on, and as soon as you do, he kind of hops down. He's like, no, come on back. I was enjoying your company. Come on. Did you hear one about the tadpole?
No, I did not hear the one about the tadpole.
Damn it, neither did I. I was hoping you would be able to tell me. And, come on.
He's going to, even if it's not going the greatest, I think he will spend the extra time again just to try and continue to build the rapport as much as he can.
Yeah, and it's just you maybe don't have the most keen insight into the human psyche.
Oh no, he does not.
Okay. But by the end of the day, you suspect there's something wrong with this fellow. But as long as he's not sitting down, he seems to be fine. Just a lot there. Anyone else making an effort this day? When Yaz comes back, she's full of half of jokes, but I don't know that that's a lot of useful information.
Gonna go and kind of take a look at there was a gnome that was kind of just hanging out.
There is. You sort of head up and keep an eye on this gnome, and they're just sitting on the back of the wagon and just watching the dust rise up off the wheels. And as you get close, they're just sort of like looking kind of over your head into the middle distance.
Hello.
Oh, hello there.
Hey,
Hey, sneak up on a fella that way.
I guess I've been walking quite a bit. I've been calling your attention a while back.
Oh,
How you doing? Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing okay. Bum's a bit sore.
What did you call me?
I don't think I called you anything, friend.
Oh, I'm Chiquito.
Oh, well, hello there, Chiquito.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Perethan.
Perethan?
Perethan.
What are you doing on this caravan?
I'm sitting on it.
I can see that. You mind
as he's kind of jogging along behind.
You mind maybe if you have a little extra room for me for a second?
Oh, sure. Though, if the wagon master asks, I didn't invite you on. And he sort of scoots over a bit. He's basically sitting on the tail end of it. The goods are packed, a foot or two back in there. But there's that ledge. It's maybe a little short for you. Your legs are considerably longer than gnomes, but you could hang on there.
Sure. What, I see you kind of have a kind of look. Are you thinking or what's going on? I see you kind of have an off look about you.
Oh, well, I'm doing math, you see.
Oh. Oh, what kind? Yeah. What
Yeah.
kind of man?
Well, you see, I'm what some folks would call an odds maker.
Okay.
Now, are you familiar with the fine art of gambling, son?
No.
Oh,
Would I be good at it?
well, are you a lucky fella?
I
Do you have a
really
head for numbers?
maybe.
Oh,
What
I
do you
think
think?
you'll do fine, son. I think
Oh
you'll do
yeah,
fine.
you think so?
Absolutely.
Really?
Here, let's
Oh.
test it out. And he pulls out a coin,
okay.
and he gives it a flip, and he catches it and slaps it on the back of his hand and says, "Tell me now, son, heads or tails?"
I'm gonna say. Could I see it first or no?
Oh, no, in this case, son, we're testing out your luck. Heads or
Oh.
tails?
Tails.
Tails, let me take a look. Oh, sorry, son, it's heads.
I guess I don't have much luck then, do I?
No, you don't, but maybe you have a mind for numbers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flip this again. He lands it. Now, what do you think it's going to be? Since it was heads last time, what should it be this time?
Tails.
That is absolutely correct, and let's take a look and give me a quick perception check.
Okay.
He removes his hand and his tails. Excellent. What you have discovered there is what we call the gambler's truth. Past
Okay.
performance will always predict future events. Now, come nightfall, if you want to come and get invested in a game, bring a little bit of gold and we're happy to let you buy in.
Oh. I'm not. I mean, I'm interested more in the game. But what kind of game is it?
Oh, it's a game where you can win lots of prizes, money and such. If you just want to play, bring along a little bit of gold, sit down, have yourself a great time. Won't cost you much more than you would spend on a good evening out with whatever sort of company it is you enjoy, friend.
Okay. That sounds real good. I guess. Yeah. Maybe I'll seek you out in a bit. Maybe I'll bring some buddies along.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you just go ahead and bring them by. We'll all be gathered around the same couple of fires, so keep an ear out.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to, if I can, hang out here a bit more. My feet hurt.
Oh, sure, sure. And as a couple of minutes go by, he sort of sits there and he lapses into silence. You just see him staring out in the distance once more.
Okay.
He follows his eyes.
What are you thinking about now?
Oh, see, I'm trying to think of a numbers game.
Okay. What kind of number?
And then he's going to continue just doing small talk, kind of learn as much as he can about numbers.
And it seems like he's trying to come up with some sort of lottery style system that he could do. He's trying to invent Keno, basically, if you're familiar with Keno. So he's trying to come up with something seemingly simple but very complex that he can game a system off of.
All right.
Now, sorry, chat just went by and I saw that I have to bring in some trillion number of kobolds, but I don't know that they have the money. Ooh, 20
They have
size.
the money.
I didn't scroll up high enough. Aha! That seems like grifting happened over there. But okay.
I have to thank Shady Bonsai for another inspiration too.
Ah, thank you very much. So,
Thanks, Shady.
anything else going on throughout any other exploration happening into the caravan?
I'm just gonna spend the day off and on talking to the Hoper. Staying nearby because that's my job.
And Sammerdog is he's very optimistic. Anything that flies by, oh, weather's looking absolutely lovely. You know, glad we got that rain out of the way in the morning. Now we got a clear sky going on today, and
That's a good outlook.
That guy.
Yeah, he's
I like that.
Yeah, real lucky that I bumped into you and that you had friends in the group that were able to come by. Feel much more comfortable now that knowing that you've all, worked together and can rely on one another for us.
Yes, we will protect you if the need arises.
Yeah, great. Now, I'm a little curious. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from very far to the south.
Oh, excellent. Actually, I traveled up from the south, from I just picked up these China good. I hear they can't make porcelain this fine up north, so I'm hoping to cash in.
Oh, that might be smart. I've been to but only briefly.
Oh, what'd you enjoy there?
Oh, I only was outside. I am not from places with so many people. It was a bit intimidating, but I'm getting more accustomed to it.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Now, have you got a home for yourself? Would you be interested in some of these fine goods?
Oh, the life that I lead, they would be broken very soon.
Well, all the more precious for that. But
Perhaps one day I will have a home that they would go in, but not now.
well, when you do, be sure to look me up. I'm probably still going to be traveling up and down this road. I do enjoy it so much. And laughing at me?
that guy is so happy. I'm stuck in the rain. Everything's great.
Everything is great. It's cooling me down. Don't have to worry about running out of water. Refilling my water skin. There we go.
Sho comes out of the conversation totally charmed.
Yeah.
Just smiling.
And he's a nice, bright and buoyant fella. Maybe a little threadbare around the edges though. It looks like maybe he has trouble holding on to money. Anyone else diving into the groups?
Going to just hang out with the rest of the people who were not able to attract the attention of anybody in particular. Even though I'm with Show's group, I'm hanging, and recognized as sort of being part of the wagon train. I'm basically hanging back. I would like to say that I observed the conversations that people have been having, and at least two of them strike me as being very odd because of those weird lapses. But I haven't really talked to anybody, and I'm not going to unless somebody comes up and talks to me. I'm just listening. So do I hear anything?
So go ahead and give me, I'm thinking perception, investigation, insight, depending on how you're how do you feel you're doing that one?
I want to try insight.
Okay. So you don't pick out anyone acting odd because you're not really sure what odd is yet in this particular situation. I don't think you've spent enough time in the previous caravan, and that was much smaller than this one. Right. However, you do pick up on someone who might know. Eltkin is a dwarven woman, and while she's not attached to any of the wagons, she is boasting at length about how many times she's been up and down this road, how many successful caravans she's been on, all the things that she is doing right and everyone else is doing wrong. And it's just a pretty steady stream. It's like, look at that one. New boots. Really? They're planning to walk for months in brand new boots. Gotta break them in before you start out. Look at that one. Sword hasn't been oiled in at least a week. I can see the rust building up on it. Really?
Look over my shoulder with my glaive.
Yeah, and it's just just picking apart all the pieces. Who would put that horse in front? That horse, at least the third one back. Come on, you should be walking now. Rest the horses. All those little bitey little remarks. She looks over at you. Haven't haven't seen you on the road before. That's a wrong voice, but we'll figure one out eventually.
We wouldn't have known.
I just started wondering.
Just use the snarky
I
voice, and then
understood
you've
it.
got it. I haven't seen you on the road before.
Yeah, she's like, haven't seen you. She's like, you knew? And you're a little up from her, not hugely up, but a little up.
So what have I done wrong?
Well, at least you're asking. That's a good sign. And she sort of gives you a look over. Why are you carrying 2 weapons that heavy?
One of them I've carried for years.
Not a great reason. But
It works.
you want to keep yourself rested on the road. You want to have 2 weapons, put one in the wagon, keep one armed, keep a nice one in case you lose one. But how often are you going to lose a weapon that big?
I will never lose the weapon, the big one, so I'm going to, like pull the glaive out and said, this one's not going anywhere. It stays with me. But the javelins are a real pain in the ass. I agree with that.
And she kind of, like, now that you're asking, she starts somewhat politely picking you apart. And, she has comments on your boots, she has comments on your hair, she has comments on this, comments on that. They're at least mostly constructive.
Despite the fact that they are mostly constructive, I am beginning to feel much more at home where comments about the ways in which you are less than perfect are fairly standard fare among my people. So I am enjoying this, and I'm going to just adjust my armor according to her suggestions, and maybe do something with my boots to make them more comfortable. Put the javelin someplace. I'm not going to let go of the glaive, though. I said, this isn't a weight for me. I've carried it forever. And that's a little bit longer probably than you might think.
And she sort of... And...
So, can I ask her a question?
Oh, yeah.
Real quick. After all of this good advice, why are you not a wagon master?
I don't want to be. I'm a guard.
Well, I thank you for your wisdom, and I'll try and make sure that I'm guarding whatever you're guarding, at least part of the time.
And she sort of nods along with that one, and yeah. You stick with it, you'll be fine. It'll be okay. Don't get in over your head more than you need to. Stay out of other folks' business, and she just wants to keep giving advice. And
I'm just gonna keep on taking it in.
And she invites you to participate because you have done things, of course, and you have skills in other areas that she does not. And she goes, "What do you think about that one?" And she gestures up to one of the wagons ahead.
The wagon, looking at how the weight's distributed, thinking, they've got too much heavy weight on one side. You can see the wagon wheels are leaving a trail. Any tracker could see that trail and see that it was listing to the right.
Good eye.
That makes it really vulnerable to losing at least one of the wheels, and it's hard on the horses. The one on the left keeps having, to pull a little bit that way to get it back onto the side. It's tired.
That's good.
And I look kind of sideways at her because I don't want her to know that I probably went up there and said, is this bothering you?
So give me a quick, let's probably call it a persuasion check.
I can see persuasion. It's Oh my god.
That's really good. You've impressed her, and she's like, yeah, you got it together. So, I'll put in a good word for you with some of the other wagon masters. Maybe you can get hired on a little bit better rate next time.
That. I have to buy a dress somewhere.
What do you want the dress for?
Sure, really. I've never wanted one before. But I've seen so many of my friends wear them. I'm thinking that maybe I should try it too.
And as she's sort of, marching along, she starts giving you some dwarven fashion advice. It all sounds heavy. It all sounds ridiculously heavy.
This is very good advice, but at some particular point, I'm going to actually also need to be able to move, and I don't know, maybe I need something a little bit lighter because I don't have the beautiful muscle that you have that could carry that off.
And, as you're sort of saying that, she's like, well, if you don't have that much, and it just goes on.
It goes on.
I'm going to stray into areas that I know nothing about, so I'll jump out to, off screen there. So, as that day winds on, I do need to ask for another of those fateful D20s. Again, low is uneventful.
Casey?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had one thing I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't do an interaction other than play the song for the birds. But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Oin if he knew a lot of the other wagon masters in this caravan.
Met a few of them, and which ones do I know? Give me a quick investigation. As you ask him, and he's sort of like leaning from side to side, trying to see who came and who didn't on this first couple of days. Honestly, I'm not sure who came on this one. Everyone who was available went. I think after a day or two around the campfire, once it's all sorted out, I can let you know a little better. I do know Samerdag over there, and the hopeful fellow with the porcelain.
Sure, yeah, he's happy.
Not the best at choosing his investments, but good company otherwise.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice fella.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, always in high spirits.
Yeah.
And
just wondering if anybody was, how safe we were with the group of people. If you knew anything.
Oh well, part of the benefit of being in a group this large is if anyone starts trouble, everyone else has agreed to, put it down. And it's part of the agreements. Basic treaty is if one of you goes rogue, everybody piles on to put down the problem.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Sure. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. All right.
If there's anything else, let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing about this Burgundy woman.
I'm not sure if it's about a dress or a wine or there's idioms that have to be sort of sorted out there. But yeah, it's getting there. I'm working on it.
I'm not sure that the birds can appreciate idioms, so maybe the melody is more.
The melody's gorgeous.
Yes.
I just played it on the panpipes.
You hear like wonk from the back. It's like, oh.
Oh man, they didn't like it. All right, let me try it on the loop.
Get that going. So one more of those fateful D20s then. In this case, low is uneventful, high is eventful.
I'm never rolling because I suck.
But in this case, it's good.
I thought I beat Chiquito by seconds.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you. You saved the baby.
So with that, the first day on the road comes to an end, and you have made your way out from Baldur's Gate, heading north along the coastway. I think we'll probably call it the evening here, because the next bit will get a bit longer combat-y, and I don't want to push too far past our close time if we have that. So, as you all settle down for the evening, we'll kind of close out on what are you doing on your first night out. Chiquito, are you joining in the games of chance?
I would have hoped that maybe he was able to discuss it a bit with him. Maybe give him his. He's not going to really have many ideas, but he would like to be in kind of the discussion a bit. He'd want to see a bit how it turned out, more so than actually playing.
Sure. Well, son, would you then be interested in being what is known as a partner?
Sure. Okay.
Excellent, excellent. You've got a perfect face for it.
I do.
Wearing a bonnet that's like covering his face a bit.
You do, you
Really?
do. What you have is what we in the profession call a poker face.
Okay.
Now, as long as we keep that shine down, no one should be able to get a read on you or your cards.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's a good thing.
That
Yes.
is a good thing.
Okay. Yes, I'll help you.
Now,
I don't mind helping you.
part of the situation is when we're working together, you need to be able to give me covert signs as to what's going on. Have you...
Well, I
got that
got
before I
one.
could.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was already going too. So
Well, I got one in mind.
we may need to work on something a touch more covert, but we'll keep that one in mind. Chiquito, we've got that going on. Anyone else doing evening activities I should be willing, or Chiquito, any additional activities for you?
I might.
That would be no, you can.
Yes?
I might try to build that rapport with Fellero again.
Sure.
I have no idea how to say his name.
Laz Felrow.
Oh, that's what it was. Laz. Just like Yaz.
Just like Yaz.
We can be best of friends.
Until you eat him.
Actually,
Oh, Laz Felrow. Okay, that's how you spell it. Ooh, that was way off. Okay.
that's it was getting me every time. So Laz Felrow, yeah, absolutely. And you come over, you catch him, as everybody's getting set up. The fires are being lit, things are being cooked. He's moving around, he's joking, and then he sits down and he's just like staring into his chili, like.
I'm just thinking to myself, who hurts you? Like, what happened?
Need some preparation H.
Be like, Laz Felrow, would you like another try to earn that copper for your thoughts? How are you doing? What's going on? What did the chili do to you?
and he's just sitting there like the world has ended somewhere between the bread crust that he has and the chili in the bowl, and he's just staring at the death of the universe, and then he just like, ew, and just.
There's a story here, and I want to know what it is.
So perhaps we'll find out about that story on the rest of the journey. But for the evening,
All right.
it's just talking to the wall for Laz. What else we got? Anyone else? Evening activities.
Gonna try out lyrics on people.
Okay.
Just like. Now, would you say, like, I've never seen that dress you're wearing, or the braids around your mohawk that light your eyes, I've been blind, or would you go a different way with that. Like, would you steer clear of the mohawk and go for like a highlight in your hair that catches your? I don't know. I'm a little torn. But it's got to be accurate, you know. Then I play a little bit of it.
And like the halfling you were talking to is just like looking up at you like, put a mohawk in hair? I thought the mohawk was the hair.
No. The braids are in the mohawk.
If you braid a mohawk, isn't that something different?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe, but I don't know the name for it. Like, people have names for hairstyles. Like, I heard I have a mullet. I didn't know what that was. I was completely caught unaware that this had a name, but, like...
Well, wouldn't a braided mohawk be a brohawk?
A brohawk? Oh, man, that's not very lyrical, but I'll work on it. All right, thank you. But also, while I'm doing that, I'm keeping my eyes out for anybody kind of around the dark, looking at our camp, seeing if there's anybody sort of lurking around.
Sure, give me maybe a perception-y.
Okay.
There are definitely people patrolling, and you know some of your party members will also be called up to patrol and stay on guard to prevent any trouble throughout the night.
Sure.
You are definitely getting some attention, but it's hard to tell if it's any more or less than anyone else. Everybody's a little on edge. It's the first couple of hours together. Everybody's just making sure no bad seeds. And your group's a little shady.
Yeah. All right.
And, you know, the hopeful fella's known to hire anybody, so if anybody's going to get the wool pulled over their eyes, it's probably him.
Fair. I'll see if that halfling will help me workshop some more on my lyrics, and then that'll be it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably Enum. That's probably Enum, the halfling. Older, stout, been on the road a while. Decent fella.
Okay.
And with that, Anrin, show?
I've got proficiency with land vehicles, so I think when we get to the end of the day, I'm just going to take some time to check over the wagon, make sure everything's in good shape, and sort of give it a once-over. And then between that and wood carving ability skill, I would make any minor repairs it might need, and try to just tidy it up.
Okay. Give me a quick carpenter's tools. Probably either intelligence, maybe strength-based, depending on whether you're engineering it properly or just hitting it till it's the right shape.
We're going to go with the second one.
Okay. So you do notice that the cart definitely has some uneven wheels. The banding was poorly done, and you suspect that he probably overpaid for it as well. So you're able to improve the banding on the wheels, the way it's sitting. It should be a little less bumpy, but this could use a good bit more work. You could spend a few nights doing this and still not be done.
That seems like a good project.
Sounds good. And finally down to Anrin. Anrin, for the evening?
So, as soon as I hear Rob start to wordsmith the song, I decide that I'm going to take more of the guarding and patrolling assignments. Not so much because I don't like like the song, it's just that it bothers me for some reason, and I haven't really puzzled it out yet. So, because I can see in the dark really well, the patrolling isn't, I can see fairly well. I have the vision to be able to do it. And I noticed Sho is working on the actual vehicle. So I decide I'm going to go and take a visit and talk to the horses for a little bit and see if they have noticed anything at all unusual or different or strange about this journey.
Sure. It's probably going to be either animal handling or investigation would be my guesses.
I'd like to try animal handling.
Sure.
It's got to work really well at least once, not this time.
You kind of go around, and it takes you the better part of the night, but you don't sleep all that much, and the nighttime doesn't bother you. You're kind of just checking in with each of the horses in the line. No emergencies, no scent of predators, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing strange or unnatural in and among the goods. However, towards the front of the chain of the wagon train, some of the horses do mention that they're missing some of their number. Some of the horses that normally travel together, that are normally, because the caravans tend to move at the same time, so they're sort of like a herd. They have a little bit of a family mentality, and some of the herd is missing. They left earlier, and they kept sense of them every once in a while, but they're probably 2 to 3 days ahead at this point, and it's not fantastically unusual, but it hasn't happened in a while, and they kind of say that's a little weird.
Well, I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more details about what did they see them before they left? They know that they're 3 days ahead. Do they still feel them now? They have a sense of them now?
So it's they were together when the humans were arranging things. That's normal. So at the North Gate, when all the horses were being gathered and sold and all that, and they expected to be traveling together again, but at least a small portion, so probably maybe 4, maybe 10 of the horses, it's hard to get a number, have left and are ahead, and they are catching scent of them. So as they mark they still smell them ahead, or they'll recognize a feature of them on the road. But they left 2 or 3 days early. I'm trying to be polite on that one, but yeah, they left 2 to 3 days ahead. And that's just not normal. Usually they travel together. So you get that little I miss Bob.
Chance to see Bob. I'm going to just not comfort, because I don't want to worry them any more than they are already minorly worried. Not that they're paying that much attention to me anyway, but at least a little bit of comfort. And to the extent possible that I can rub some of the sore out of their muscles and stuff while I'm doing it, I do that, and then I go back and sit down and meditate some more for the evening.
Sounds good. So everyone, please go ahead and take the benefits of a long rest. Your nice low roll of a 4 has afforded you your long rest before that 19 followed it.
Yeah.
And we will pick back up next week on the road, and some adventures will be happening. Hope everybody's been having fun. I've been having a blast DMing with you. We are streaming on 20 Sides to Every Story. Please make sure to like, follow, and obey. Join us in Discord to take part in the games. We've got Jasper's Game Day and Extra Life coming up, and a bunch of community games and other stuff going on. So we'll have fun and catch up with y'all there. And I look down and I look back up, and they're doing the wiggly antenna things.
Danger.
It's our danger
love
sense.
you, Casey. We
follow
love
Ed.
you.
Join us, Ed.
Follow us.
It's the obey.
Yeah!